Welcome, hackers. This is mission number 11 of our hackathon. We are in the finale of this hackathon. Just one more mission to go, and all of you can hear me and see me. Just type the word sales in the chat box. Today is going to be all about webinar selling, and also I'll share with you other ways of selling. Also within webinars, there are some subcategories I'm going to talk about. How you can do mini webinars, how you can do longer format webinars, and I'm also going to explain to you the different kind of selling models that are there in the knowledge business. So great to have all of you here. And let's get started. I'm just going to quickly check how many of you are on track in our hackathon to become a freedom finisher. Just type OT in the chat box if you're on track. I want to personally congratulate you for your commitment, for staying in the game and being in the game for till the end. Okay. We started this hackathon with 1,500 people. Okay, in the first mission. Right now, there are 300 people live. Now, this shows that, a lot of people drop off, and that 20-30% is the only number of people who actually finish the hackathon. How many of you here are here for the first time in this hackathon? Just type FT if this is the first time you're attending this particular mission of the hackathon. Wow, I can see a lot of you here for the first time. Amazing, amazing. So good to know. And for those of you here for the first time, it's just going to be a learning experience because you're not in the game. So you need to start in the next hackathon, which will be starting in Jan. So Jan, when I look at the dates, the first Tuesday of the year is 3rd of Jan. So 3rd of Jan is going to be the start of our brand new hackathon starting in January, which will finish by end of March. So all of you new people, learn today, learn in the next session, but make sure that you follow all the steps and become a freedom finisher by the next in the next mission. Okay. Now, those of you who are going to become a freedom finisher this time, you're going to get an opportunity to lead teams in the next mission. Okay. So that's something that I want all of you to keep this in mind. Just checking, is my volume okay? I hope my volume is okay. Let me just double check once. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I just set the levels over here. I think it should be okay. Yes, I'm audible. Thank you so much. Maybe I'll keep my microphone a little closer like this. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to just share what's in store for today. Just to do a recap, what all have you learned so far? Mission number 1 was all about setting the foundation. And let's check and see if all of you remember, those of you who have been in this hackathon from the first mission. What was the second mission? If all of you remember, type that in the chat box. Type that word in the chat box. What was second mission all about? If you remember? Yes, you're right. We went into strategy building. How do you create like a proper strategy? If you remember, what's mission number 3? Curriculum design. Excellent. You got into curriculum design and how, you learned a lot about that. Mission number 4, type in the chat box. What was it all about? About influence building. So I taught all of you how to write a story, how to record a video and publish that online. And then we started off this content attraction challenge that I gave you all of you to do it for 30 days. And then what was mission number 5, if you remember? Lead magnet, lead generation. So I helped you build a lead magnet, a simple ebook lead magnet to start generating leads. And just want to check, just type in the chat box, how many leads have you generated so far? If you started this in this hackathon, how many leads have you generated totally from mission number 5 till today? 100, 165, 69, 45, 1, 3, 129, 70, 500 leads, Richa, 1,800 leads, Akash, 500, 42, 100, 1 lead, 700 leads. Jagdeep, you got offers on LinkedIn too. That's great. 45 leads, 4 leads, 20 leads, 179 leads. Anybody else who's been going through this? Okay, perfect. What was mission number 6? Type in the chat box. Web design. In fact, all of you built a website within 15-20 minutes. So I think 30 minutes I gave all of you time. So that was a great. Mission number 7. Branding and budgeting. Yeah, both. We covered both. Mission number 8, what was it? Do you remember? Webinar system setup. This is what I shared last time before we had a break for 2 weeks. Mission number 9, those of you who went through the recording, what was it? Course design. This is one of the most important missions. Curriculum design is different, but course design is where I get into things like, how do you set the goal? How do you create different paths, different levels, different course structures, and the 3-day course template? Everything was covered in this. And then what did we cover in mission number 10, if you remember? Automation. Okay. So that was also a recording, and I covered all kinds of automation: content automation, lead automation, sales automation, as well as reporting automation. So all the basic elements of automation have been covered. And today we're going to focus on webinar selling. Okay. And the last mission, like Vidya Shankar just asked, will be on market domination and how to rank a video on YouTube. Okay. And how to really come up on the first page. So I'm looking forward to sharing that in the next session live. I'll be doing it live in front of all of you. Okay. So overall, this is the way that I've structured the hackathon. And if I have to look at the checklist, I'm going to go straight into the action checklist. Okay, assignments. So the action review by December 31st, for those of you who are playing the game, for you to qualify as a Freedom Finisher, these are the 10-point checklist. Number 1 is your strategy sheet needs to be in place. 2 is your 100 questions document needs to be 100% done. 3 is your PDF lead magnet needs to be set up. Your private VIP group needs to be set up on Facebook. Your ConvertKit email marketing system needs to be set up. If you're using any other email marketing system, that's also fine. Your personal branded website needs to be set up. Your Demio webinar sales system needs to be set up. Even if you're using Zoom or any other webinar system, that's also fine. Your Teachable account needs to be set up. If you're using any other LMS, that's also fine. Your level 1 course needs to be loaded on your Teachable platform. I'm talking about the 3-day course and the bonuses. Okay. And number 10 is also the bonuses. So all those who are playing the game, if all of you are clear on this, type clear in the chat box. This is the checklist for you to qualify for the Freedom Finisher Award. What is the award? You get a 2,000 rupee voucher. You get a t-shirt that says I'm a finisher, and you also get a certificate that's going to come your way. Okay, so let's see how many people are going to finish this round, the last quarter of this year, and let's see what happens next year. Okay, so this is the checklist that I want to run all of you through. And the new members, this is what you're going to be playing the game the next round when we start. Okay, and the best part is in the hackathon, I'll be giving you time to complete these assignments during the hackathon itself. So there's a high chance that you can finish it if you start from the first mission onwards. So let's focus on today's topic, which is webinar sales. And I want to run a quick poll to find out, have you started selling in webinars yet? I can see a lot of you have not yet started. Interesting. Okay. And I'm going to run another poll just to find out another interesting point. So when it comes to sales, I want all of you to participate in this polling that I'm going to do. It's a cloud polling. Just type one word, okay? What is your biggest fear when it comes to selling, when it comes to sales? What is your biggest fear? Click on that link and just type a one word. What's that one word that you fear the most when it comes to sales? Or what's your challenge when it comes to sales? I'm going to share my screen now. Interesting. I'll share my screen just in a bit. We have a lot of people just jumped in right now. What's your biggest fear when it comes to sales? One thing I'll promise you is when we finish today's session, you are going to be having a confidence like never before. You'll be able to go out there and sell like never before, because you're not only going to have I'm going to install the mindset part of selling, but I'm also going to give you the skill sets. Okay. I'm going to give you a template which you can follow blindly, and you'll be amazed by the number of sales that you'll be able to get following this template. Okay. So let me share my screen. So here are the biggest challenges when it comes to sales that many of you here are facing. And the big one is rejection. What if people don't buy? Confidence. And there are many other topics here. Why will people buy from me? Upsell, speaking, pricing. People won't buy. People will not come. Imposter syndrome, overcharging, presentation, pricing, no sales, pitching, price objections, lack of confidence, not able to convince, closing. Honestly, when it comes to sales, I don't like the word closing. I don't like the whole concept of closers, because I believe that our relationship with our customers starts at the point of sale. Would all of you agree? Type agree in the chat box. This is not about closing the deal. It's about starting a relationship. Okay. So I want all of you to think about sales from that perspective. Okay. That's how I look at sales. For me, when anyone buys a silver membership, that is the start of a journey. Okay. Because people are not some numbers on some Excel sheet. Okay. We as humans, each one of you here, I don't consider you as a number on my Excel sheet. You are a person on the other side with dreams and aspirations. You have desires, you have families, you have fears, you have different aspirations in your life. And you are human beings on the other side. So once you start looking at your entire business from that vision, for you, sales is not going to be a process of just revenue generation. It is going to be a process of you onboarding the right people into your tribe, into your community, or in other words, just to take it on a higher plane, you're going to onboard more people into your mission. If that was a bulb on for you, just type BO on the chat box. You are onboarding people who align with your mission. And by them buying into your product and they're coming into your community, what's happening is you are getting them on a journey along with you, and you're going to take them to whichever destination that they want to go. Like there's a peak to climb, there are different base camps. And so you're not going to be selling a product. You're going to be selling a journey. Once again, if that was bulb on for you, type bulb on in the chat box. Don't sell products. Okay. Don't close deals. Don't close clients. Okay. Sell a journey and let that become the start of a relationship. That's how we are different from many other systems out there. Okay. So I want to first tell you about, there are different models of selling. There are different phases of how much time do you got to spend on this journey. So let me explain to you the different models of selling. The first model is a one-to-one based selling. The high ticket consulting, the one-to-one based selling model, which is brilliant. And it is the most effective, especially when you're selling, for the first time, where you want to understand your market. And the template for one-to-one selling is very simple. You get on a one-to-one call with somebody, ask them what problems are they facing, note down those problems, give them some clarity. It's like a clarity call. And then you can even create have a second call, which is a solution call. And then you deliver an offer. You can say that, hey, I can help you solve this problem. And this is what my price is. And you can directly, close the deal. Okay. So though I'm using close the deal, this is more like you can start the relationship for them to be a part of your journey. Now, this one-to-one closing model, it's popularized by like Sam Owens, and I've studied many of the guys in the high ticket consulting industry as well. And it's a brilliant model, especially when you're selling anything of a higher value, like 50,000, 1 lakh rupees. And agency-based model. Like suppose you want to sell your services. When I was running my digital marketing agency, I used to be doing this, but I used to do one-to-one sales by traveling to different places. I would go meet people in a coffee shop. And how many of you have been in that situation before? Just type BT if you've been there. Like proper sales call, you get a client, like a prospect who's interested in your product or service. You set up a meeting, you go meet them, coffee shop or in some office, and then you do face-to-face, you explain that. And I've done this for 5 to 6 years. And then of course it moved into Zoom, and I used to do a lot of Zoom-based selling. And one thing that I used to do to close a lot of deals in during my agency days is I used to do video proposals. So inquiry would come to me. I would put into a mind map the entire strategy. I would say, okay, this is what I analyze about your company. This is what I feel will work for you. This is the pricing that we have. Get back to me if you're interested. So that I actually cut short my sales cycle by doing video proposals. I would record a 15-20 minutes video explaining the entire offer there. And then when I would do a one-to-one call, it was just about negotiating and and confirming the deal. So this particular model works well for that. The second model that many of you might have heard of is the WhatsApp-based model, which is popularized by my good friend Gopal, and which is more like a 5-day class, 4-day class. It's like nurturing people through a messenger-based model, where you nurture for 3 to 5 days, and then on day 5 you give the offer. Okay. Now, would all of you like to know what is the original source of this idea? Type BIO in the chat box. I'll bring it on. Like, what is the original source of where he got this idea from? This original idea was from a guy named Jeff Walker. Okay. So Jeff Walker is the founder. He's the creator of this formula called product launch formula. Yes. He's one of the granddaddies in the internet marketing world. When I say granddaddies, is going back to like early 2000s, like 2005, and Frank Kern, Jeff Walker. Like there are a few names who have been in the internet marketing space for a long time. Guys who have made like the first few $1 million in the internet, in the information business. So Jeff Walker's formula was you give them valuable pieces of information through videos, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and then on day 5 you give the offer. So there's a lot of pre-framing that happens through videos. But now the same thing can be modeled and replicated into a WhatsApp model, where you give them videos, you create WhatsApp groups, you invite them to a Zoom call, you train them for 5 days, and then you go and you sell your product at the end of day 5. The beautiful thing about this model is, one is you'll get a lot of practice time doing one-to-many. One-to-one, it's great, but here you'll get practice in doing one-to-many, and you'll be able to connect with your audience on a much closer level, and you will definitely have much higher conversions, because if somebody's spending 4 days with you, there will be a drop off. 30-40% will drop off on day 4 or day 5, but the people who are remaining on day 4 or day 5, they will be like really good quality customers. You'll probably get 30-40% conversions depending on how well you've structured your content. Okay, so those of you who are starting off on the journey, I would highly recommend this model to really get into the practice mode. Okay, but ultimately it'll come back to the same webinar selling formula on day 5. It's that same, the 30-45 minutes, whatever you're going to be delivering the offer, that will be the same. Okay, if you're doing in a WhatsApp model or a workshop model or a webinar model, it's the same thing, that you have to just deliver that offer. Okay, so if this makes sense, type MS in the chat box, what I'm sharing with you till now. Okay, then we have another model, which is the workshop based model. The only difference is what you're going to be doing, either a 1-day workshop or a 3-day workshop, maybe 4 hours a day or 6 hours a day into so many number of days, and then you deliver the offer. And if you're doing, say, like a 3-day workshop, you can charge higher. Like I've done, boot camps along with Blair Singer, where we have sold for $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 by people spending 3 days, by people spending 3 days in a live scenario. So it really works well if you want to nurture your audience again on a deeper level and then offer your product. And then we have the webinar model. Webinar is, you have so many different types of webinars. I'm going to cover all the different models. You have the free webinar, which is 90 minutes webinar and then 30 minutes just to close the webinar and deliver the offer. You can do a free webinar even for 3 hours. Instead of doing 90 minutes, you do like just double the timing. and then you give the offer. You can do paid webinar for 2 to 4 hours. You can do an automated webinar. You can also do a mini webinar, which is under 20 minutes. I'm going to give you the mini webinar template also. So the first thing I want to share with all of you is there are different models of selling, and it's not that one is better than the other. You just need to see what works for you. And the only reason I've been propagating the free 90-minute webinar from day one is because one is it gets you into the practice of being able to sell within 90 minutes. In the beginning, it may be difficult. Some of you may not be getting sales. So if you're not able to really get the pulse, if you're not able to connect with the audience, then you can do a WhatsApp model or do a workshop model so that you can build confidence in yourself and build confidence in your product and your delivery, so that when you deliver the offer, you're going to get good conversions. So it's not that the model does not work. The model is brilliant, provided you are able to work on all those elements. Okay. And then, so one of the reasons I've been pro on this is it's the shortest time to get maximum sales. And the logic behind free webinar from the beginning for me is that over time, you will start to compound in your email list. See, if you're doing a paid webinar, let's say 2 hours to 4 hours, 99 rupees or 199 rupees tickets, definitely you'll have better quality lead. You'll have better show up rate. You'll have better conversion rate. Okay. So if you look at just from one webinar to the next webinar to the next webinar, on an Excel sheet, it'll look very good. Okay. In a free webinar, the show up rate will be lesser. The conversion rate will be lesser. But one thing people don't realize is that the cost per lead will be some 30, 40, 50 rupees per lead. Okay. If you're doing the right targeting. Paid webinar for a 99 rupee ticket, the cost per acquisition, cost per actual lead, the paid lead will be 500, 600, sometimes even 1,000 rupees per lead. So what will end up happening is in a format like this, your list size will grow very fast. And that gives you an opportunity to nurture that list on a much more deeper level. In other words, in a free webinar format, even though you may not get the perfect numbers on the day of the webinar, let's say the first or second webinar, if you're nurturing them and sending them to your YouTube videos and sending them to your podcasts and nurturing them, the people will buy even after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Like I've had people in our community who have bought my silver membership after attending my webinars 27 times. Okay. Are any of you here who come into our community after watching my webinar more than 10 times? Type 10 plus in the chat box. Look at that. There's a huge audience over here. Okay. We have so many people in the room. And it's not that, my conversions were not good on the first. I sold the idea. Okay. I sold the idea the first time. The second time they came, but they again saw. I mean, many of you here. Third time you came back. Fourth time you came back. Fifth time you came back. Sixth time, seventh, eighth. Then why do you keep coming back? Because there's some kind of value that you're getting every time you go through it. Okay. So are all of you able to understand the concept of compounding on your list and nurturing your list, going with the free model versus the other models? Just type got it in the comment box if you got it. Okay. But I understand some of you are in the starting stage. You can start with say paid just to recover your ad costs. You can start with the WhatsApp model to gain the the whole system of delivery and all of that. But once you have perfected your delivery process and your content, if you're doing something for 5 days, see if you can cut it short to 3 days. If it's going well in 3 days, see if you can bring it down to 1 day, 4 hours. If you can do it in 4 hours, then see if you can bring it down to 2 hours. Okay. And that's where you'll get time leverage. And if you're able to crack it in 2 hours, then automate the whole damn thing. Okay. Like don't even spend your time doing that. So that's the evolution of your, that should be the evolution of your journey. So if you look at the phases, the first phase is where you should be spending a lot of time on the front end of the funnel. Front end is creating videos, creating content, doing content generation, lead generation, servicing your L1 customers. Anyone buys your L1, you do one-to-ones with them, do like a WhatsApp model, like a workshop model, and also try webinars, see what is working. You're going to be very busy in the customer acquisition, doing everything live in the first phase of your journey. And this is exactly how I started. I should be doing 2 webinars a week. Monday, Thursday, Monday, Thursday, Monday, Thursday. Like just, it was going like clockwork. And at that point of time, there were not many people doing webinars at all. Okay. And 2018, right through that year, 2019, right through the year, I've easily done over 600 webinars. Okay. And there were some days I used to do every day one webinar. Okay. I was just testing out. I was putting more money in ads. I was getting say 1,000 leads per day. And every day I would do one webinar. Okay. So like that, I've done 600 sales webinars in the first 2-3 years of the journey, just to understand how things are and to gain confidence in what I was promoting. So the second phase of your journey is going to be where you spend 80% of the time in the mid end of your funnel, on the mid level, meaning that you should have cracked the code in selling your 5,000 rupee or 10,000 rupee product within 2 hours. Okay. And that 5,000, 10,000 rupee product it's a very important layer. Okay. Many people, they think that, okay, don't sell anything for 5,000 bucks. You sell directly for 50,000 or 1 lakh. But I feel that you have to cater to your audience in both ways. Meaning, like for me, I get a lot of people in that 5,999, 7,999 level. That's a good optimal price point to filter out the people who are not serious versus the people who are serious. It creates a good cash flow for me. Okay. When I was doing live webinars, I used to be doing 2x to 3x on that. Okay. So if I would spend, say 20 lakhs in a month on ads, I would do 40 lakhs in revenues just on L1. Okay. And the remaining say 50, 60 lakhs coming through L3 conversions. So the profitability on the back end, there's no doubts about that. But to have high volume on the front end is also very important. Okay. So at this level, the second stage of your journey, you should be spending, maybe doing 1 or 2 webinars a week, put money into advertising, and start spending more time doing one-to-one calls with your level 2 customers, anyone who's bought your L2 products, and where you're building or improving your products. Okay. Do all of you realize that if you're spending so much of time on the front end, you will not have time to build high value products? If you got that, just type GT in the chat box. This 80% of time on the front end, give yourself 6 months time on this. Give yourself 6 months. Beyond 6 months, you should shift gears. You can't be in first gear all the time. You have to shift to the second gear. And then the third gear is moving into the phase 3, is where you should be spending 80% of your time on the back end of the funnel. This is the stage that I am in right now, where my front end of the funnel is completely automated webinars. Okay. I'm not doing 2 with 3x like before. I'm doing like 1.2, like through Google ads, I'm doing on 1.8x. Facebook ads, there's ups and downs. So I'm doing 0.8x. I'm just breaking even on that, but it's okay. I'm not spending my time over there. Overall, I'm doing 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 right now. And I'm finding out ways to re-optimize that. But I'm spending more time on L3, my diamond level calls. I'm having time to expand vision. I'm having time to add new products. I'm having time to revamp old products. I launched a book, and of course, I'm having time for my quantum level, which is the 8.5 lakh rupee product. I'm spending time doing one-to-ones with them right now. Okay. I'm doing a lot of one-to-ones with quantum members. But this happened after, a lot of time. Okay. So my suggestion to all of you here is to look at this as an 18-month journey. The first 6 months is this. The next 6 months, shift gears. Okay. By the end of 1 year, you should have a level 3 product. Okay. Sooner the better. But when I say level 3, something which is at least of 50,000, 1 lakh rupees in price point and above. And as you move into year number 2, you should be thinking of automating, because by this time you would have done a lot of webinars, you would have understood your market, you would have understood your product, and then now you can automate the entire thing and build another 2 lakh or a 3 lakh rupee product, or just increase the price of your L3 and slowly take it up. So it's a journey. Okay. So for me, it took a good 2.5 to 3 years to create an 8 lakh rupee product. I could have launched even before, but I needed to work on my system before. I need to focus on the front end of the funnel, because that's why when I launched my quantum membership to only the Hall of Fame members, the first batch, this was over a year back, there were 45 people in that room, webinar room. We did a Zoom call, and in that 25 people bought, at that point I gave a 7 lakhs plus GST. Okay. Insanely high conversions. because I offered my super high ticket only to the people who have got results. I did not offer to everybody. Okay. So the people who have got results, only the Hall of Fame members, I offered it to them and they got it. So I hope all of you are able to understand that this is a journey. Yes, type yes in the chat box. Don't fall for marketing messages that say that, high ticket consulting is the only way to do things, or it is very easy to launch high ticket products. I mean, people talk about high ticket consulting in such a way that it is easy to do. It is not. You have to go through a lot of low ticket experiments to build a high ticket product. It is not as simple as just creating an offer and saying, okay, I'm going to charge 2 lakh rupees for it. It will backfire on you, because if you don't have the substance to deliver, you're going to get some crappy reviews. So you have to really work on yourself. You got to work on building your system. Like Prem has mentioned, you have to work on getting results for people. And once you've built a lot of results, then you'll have the confidence to charge higher, because then there'll be a lot more social proof to do it. Okay. So if this makes sense, type MS in the chat box. If you're in Internet Lifestyle Hub, you should be aware of these things. Okay. Don't just fall for something because the marketing is really easy, very attractive and stuff like that. Be aware to know that what's worthwhile does not come easy. What's easy is usually not worthwhile. Okay. So these are the different selling models. And now we will come into our main model, which is, to start off with, is webinar selling. Now, those of you who do not have any confidence in sales, I would suggest that you start to do webinars without selling. Do no sales webinars. All of you just type NSW in the chat box. Do no sales webinars. Do 1 hour webinars like I shared last time, where you get into the practice of delivering knowledge, but you don't have the pressure of making money from it. Okay. Now, in the no sales webinars, you can do a one-to-one model. And let me explain to you how that works. Okay. You deliver 1 hour of content, blow people's minds away with what information you have to give them. And at the end of the webinar, ask them to fill an application form where you're willing to help them for free on a one-to-one basis, where you're going to give them some clarity. Okay. So you're doing a one-to-one call at the end of the webinar. And this will help you understand your market on a deeper basis, and only do the one-to-one call with people who are serious. Maybe you put them into a Google form, capture a lot of inputs from the people who fill the Google form. I mean, capture a lot of data and tell them that only if I feel I want to work with you, I will give you a Calendly appointment system. Okay. So Shivani, I'm coming to the template later. I'm going to give all of you the script of my webinar. But overall, are all of you able to understand that when you are able to do no sales webinars into an application process and then a one-to-one, that will help you build more confidence in yourself and your product. If you got that, just type yes in the chat box if you got that. Okay, so those of you are brand new, you don't have any experience, you feel that I don't deserve to charge money and stuff like that. If you have these things in your mind, go with this approach. Because if you go with this approach, you're doing one-to-many establishing authority. You're doing a qualification process to set the right posturing. Okay. Sales is all about posturing in the right way. Okay. Where you're not desperate for sales. You're saying that I'm going to pick and choose who I want to work with. Okay. And then the third part is you are going to be doing one-to-ones to understand your market. And as you gain confidence, then in that same one webinar, you can start to sell directly. Okay. So when it comes to the webinar selling formula, I'm going to first get into the 90-minute webinar template and the script. And I'm going to break it down into 15, 15, 30, 15, 15, 15 template. So before I go into the template, I want to share a story that I normally share in this segment of the hackathon, which is my first experience of sales. Okay. So it was the year 2017, February. I caught a flight, went to Johannesburg, South Africa. I had just finished making the stage with Blair Singer in the month of December, and this was exactly 2 months after that, where I had to go and sell my 3-day training program to an audience of 800 people in Johannesburg, South Africa. This is my first time I went to sell my own programs that to outside the country. Okay, I've never sold anything in a live program inside India. I had my first experience was outside India. Okay, so went all the way. I had to pay for my own flights. I had to pay for my own tickets, and whatever I would sell from that stage, that would be a revenue share with the conference organizer, and that was my first. I had to somehow make it happen. So I went there. The first speaker, it was an Internet Marketing Summit. There were 12 speakers. I was one of them. First speaker went, Peng Joon, swept the room, 800 people, 130 sales. Second person went on, JT Fox, some 130, 140 sales. Like just smashing it. These guys, they used to like, they just cleared the room. And then the second, then there was another speaker that came on. Then there was a lunch break. After lunch break, I had to come on. And I was a little nervous at that point of time. It was the first time I'd do this. And I had a 90-minute slot on the stage. And I was talking about social media and all that. So went on stage. I started training. I went into typical workshop mode, and I, did whatever I do best. I have done many workshops before. So a lot of people are taking notes, make people do high fives and all that stuff. Energy was high. And then it had to come to a point where I had to sell the 3-day program, social media takeoff. So I started to sell. I gave all the details. Okay, day 1 is going to be this, day 2 is going to be this, day 3 is going to be this. Here are the bonuses if you take action, all of the stuff. Here's the price. Go to the back of the room and register right now. Guess what happened? Nobody bought. 800 people in the room. One person stood up. He looked around and he also sat down. And I got crushed that day. How would you feel if you are in that position? I got crushed. On that day, I realized that teaching is one thing, but selling is a totally different thing. Selling is a system. Selling is a process that has to be followed. And I was not following the system. I was getting too creative. I thought in my own mind that I would somehow make it happen. I had this, I should say, overconfidence that I will somehow make it without following the system. That day, systems work, people fail was stamped on my head. Okay, systems work, people fail. And then what happened was I came back, I was shattered, but luckily, thanks to personal development, I somehow went back. I listened to some positive audios and stuff. Since I was in Joburg, I thought let's make the best use of this time. I went to the jail where Gandhi was, where Nelson Mandela was. I went and did some sightseeing and tourist stuff, got inspiration and all that. Came back, rewrote my entire sales pitch, reworked on my PPTs. April 2017, the same year, I got to share the stage with Brian Tracy at National Achievers Conference in New Delhi. There were some 600 people in the room. I did more than 10% conversions in that. And I did a 3-day workshop, a 3-day live training seminar in Delhi. In 1 weekend, I did 48 lakhs. I sold my services, my social media services from the stage. So that was such a sigh of relief. And I realized the lesson the hard way, that I had to follow the system. Okay. And the reason I'm sharing this story is I know many of you here may be great trainers. You might have had a lot of experience in this space. But what I'm going to share with you right now in today's session, just follow it. Okay. Just follow it to the T. Okay. You will see the magic of this when you go through this. And what I'm going to share today is more like an evolved version of my webinar selling formula. I keep tweaking and changing and stuff like that. Okay. So how many of you are now were able to relate with my journey, and you feel that you're ready for this? Type me in the chat box. Okay. So don't be overconfident. Be confident, but follow the system. Okay. So this 90-minute webinar selling template, it works like magic. For people who are not able to get sales in a webinar, there are two things that they need to look at. One is, or let's say there could be three things. One is they may need to work on themselves, their energy, because if people are not buying from you, then maybe they don't like you, okay? Or maybe they don't. That is one part of it. The second is you may need to work on the offer. Maybe they like you, but they don't find what you're offering valuable enough for them. Okay, that's the second reason. And the third reason is more an internal reason. Maybe you don't believe in your product. Suppose you feel that, okay, I don't believe in what I'm selling at a subconscious level. Even though you're selling, people will sense that and they will not buy. So if any of you here are trying your webinars and you're not getting sales, go back and do an internal check on where the issue is. Is the issue with yourself and your energy? Is it that your offer is not strong enough or irresistible? Or the third one is if you really need to work on yourself, okay? Whether you need to really believe in, whether you have that belief level in your product and yourself, okay? When I was selling on the stage that time at Joburg, for me, I believed in my product, but at a subconscious level, when I look back, I did not believe that I could connect with an international audience. Okay, I went with that thing in my head, like these people are not from India. Will they really listen to an Indian? I had this thing running at the back. So there's also a subconscious element that you need to be aware of. Okay, did all of you note down these three? Type noted in the chat box. Okay, so thank you so much. Let's now come to the actual template. First is the first 15 minutes. The next 15 minutes, I'm going to break it down into, if you total this up, this will come to 90 minutes. Okay, 15, 15, 30, 15, 15. So that's 90 minutes. Another 15 minutes just for closing, and you can finish it within 2 hours. Okay. So the first 15 minutes of your webinar is the intro. So all of you just type the word intro in the chat box. And I would like all of you to participate in this, because now I'm installing this template into your head. Okay. And the more you participate, it'll get into your DNA now. Okay. Intro. The purpose of the intro is to get people to buy you. They need to buy you first before they buy your product. Would all of you agree? Type agree in the chat box. People need to buy you as a person before you offer them your product. Actually, nobody cares about your product. They only care about how you can take them through that journey. Okay, I'm sure many of you who bought my L1 in my webinar, yes, you got all the details in my courses, but something might have, at a subconscious level or a conscious level, would have connected you to me as a person. Yes or no? Type in the chat box. Yeah, you felt connected with me as a person, and that's why you decided to pull out your card and buy. So that has a very important role to play in the first 15 minutes. So there are 4 things that you have to do in the first 15 minutes. The first thing is acknowledge people. So as soon as the webinar starts, a sales webinar, you can just welcome everybody. You can say, welcome, great to have all of you in the webinar. Let us know which cities are you from. Well, everybody's typing in the chat box. You can call out people's names and you can say things like, Afzal, Malar, great to have you here. Hemant, great to have you here. Debasmita, great to have you here. Ruby, Sudhir, Prachi, Jitendra, Madhusudan, Vaibhav, Syed, Salma, Sunita, great to have all of you here in the webinar. And then you can tell them that normally I start the webinar saying that you could be doing anything on a beautiful evening like this, but I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for you giving me your time, and I will do the best in my power to give you the best value for your time. So I want to ask all of you this question. When you open a webinar like this, what's going to run in the minds of the audience? What's going to run in the mind? Yeah, they're going to feel respected. They're going to feel more connected. And you know what? A lot of people might have not even been appreciated for years in their life. And when you appreciate somebody, it's like you build rapport instantly. Yeah. and you're able to relate with people. And also, this acknowledgement is not just a script. It's not just a part of the script. It has to be genuine. Have you observed that there are some people in the online space where when they speak, they are speaking from a pedestal? Like, hey, you guys are all below me. Have you observed some people like that? Have you noticed that type? Yes, if you've noticed. Like some people or some influencers, you might notice they are speaking from a pedestal. Like, hey, I'm great. I'm this. Who are you? Okay, you got to listen to me. That vibe, that's not the vibe I want in this community. Okay, you have another. What I learned from my initial mentors this was near 2015. I went to US to learn from one of my other mentors. Name is David Wood. He says that true influence is when you don't look at people you don't look at others who are better than you or lesser than you. It's that rapport field. When you are at the same level playing, even Dr. Demartini says that don't put people into a pit, don't put people on a pedestal. When you operate in that zone, you have the maximum connection with your audience. So even when you're doing webinars, when you're acknowledging people, don't just acknowledge saying that, hey, I'm so thankful that you're here, and then you're just sitting in your own pedestal on the top. It's not like that. It has to be genuine and saying that, you know what, you could be doing anything on a beautiful evening like this, and thank you for being here, and I want to give you the best value of your time. And when you genuinely do that, would all of you agree with me that this is one of the most powerful ways to build rapport with your audience? Type yes in the chat box. Yeah. So if you're an ILH, I want you to drop all of those filters, all those masks, because you are no different from anybody else. And I keep telling this even from myself. I'm no different than you. Just that I've built skills and I've been in this journey long enough time, and I'm just sharing that with you, but I'm just a normal guy. Okay. Genuinely, I'm telling you guys this. I know many of you guys may be, considering me as a mentor and this and that, but I'm just your facilitator. I want to use that word. I want to facilitate your journey. And it has to come from that space. And I have to thank my mentor, Blair, for grinding this inside my systems. You'll notice all of Blair Singer students will have this vibe. There's no arrogance in our, in the way that we operate. Okay. All of you just type ZA in the chat box. I want all of you to have zero arrogance in this business, because this is a people business. Okay. Zero arrogance. Okay. Acknowledgement. Second is talk about your values. So when I start my webinar, I'm going to open up my webinar keynote so all of you can see it. I'll start the webinar. I usually start my webinar by saying this. I say, thank you so much for being here. And when I get into the first part, I say the goal. Why are you here? One is, if you want to help more people, if you resonate with serving more people, if you want more freedom, you want to live and run a business from anywhere in the world, and if you want to spend more time with your family and your kids, then this is the webinar for you. Okay. And for you to achieve freedom, service, and family, I'm going to share with you a system. And how do you achieve this? Number one is, I'm going to help you find your niche. I'm going to help you to pick one problem that you can solve. I'm going to teach you how to build digital products. And then I'm going to help you get sales on autopilot and attract paid students through valuable content. So what I just did was two things. Coming back to the mind map here. I shared my top 3 values, and then I shared top 3 secrets, what they're going to be learning. And I'll tell you about open loop after this. Okay. Now, why do you think it is important to share your top values in the chat box? Type in the chat box. Why do you think it's important to share your top 3 values? Why? Resonance is to attract the right audience. Yeah. I've said this before also, right? Like your vibe attracts your tribe. So when you talk about what are your highest values, people who are able to who mirror those values, they will come to you. They will buy your product, not necessarily for what's in your product, but they will buy from you for what you stand for. They'll buy from you for because they'll feel like, hey, this person is talking these things, I want this. Okay, now the means to get there is, it could vary from one niche to the other niche, but your values, it really creates that match. And ever since I've done this, I've seen the kind of people coming into ILH, they are not there. There's very rarely I get people who come in with a mindset of hunting. Okay, you have the hunter mindset and farmer mindset, right? There's very rarely I get people who come into this community with that kind of a vibe, because what I'm doing is I'm filtering all of them out in the webinar itself. All of you with me, type W in the chat box. Talking about your values is a filtering process to remove all those people who are not aligned with your values, so that you have the highest caliber customers. And then what's in it for me, WIIFM, is more to do with what are they going to learn, because people are still skeptical. They're not sure about what they're going to get. They're all also evaluating, okay, who's this person? Especially if you're new, right? They're like, who's this person? Does this person have the credibility to teach? And then you get into you can get into the context setting. Okay, the context setting can have 3 parts. In the webinar, you should say that, okay, this webinar is going to go on for so many minutes, 90 minutes. If you have any other appointments, you can leave right now and you can come back next time. Please take notes. And if you have any questions, ask all your questions at the end, because I don't want to break the flow of the content. So this way you'll also take out all the people who just want to ask questions in between. Okay. Now I forgot to mention about open loop. Now, if I was doing this in a webinar, I would say, okay, in this webinar, you're going to be learning on how to find your niche, how to build digital products, and how to get sales on autopilot. And if you stay till the end, I'm also going to be revealing to you a special tool by which you can find your niche in 10 minutes. But if you want to access that tool, you got to stay till the end of the webinar. Now, that's an example of an open loop. Now, you can create any open loop, but you have to close the loop at the end. It could be a free giveaway, some goodies, some tools, something. And the purpose of this open loop is for retention, is to keep people till the end. Because if people don't feel they're going to get something really awesome at the end, they will watch for a few minutes and they'll leave. And that's going to be affecting your conversions. Okay. So all of you are clear till this point, type clear in the chat box. Okay. So think about some kind of an open loop that you can create for your audience that will keep them hooked till the end, and deliver it. It should be really good. Okay. Then you talk about some statistics about the industry. Okay. This is where you have to cater to their logical side of the brain. Now, many people are brand new. They're skeptical. They understand what they're going to get. You set the context, and now you can share some numbers. Okay. Like I talk about, e-learning industry is going to become $350 billion industry. The mobile learning market is growing. Everything is going online. Schools are going online. Colleges are going online. This is the best industry to get into. So I'm creating a need in their mind. Okay. How many of you have heard about this quote before, or this analogy? People who wanted to buy a drill, they did not want to buy the drill. They wanted to make a hole. Yes. So when you are talking about industry stats, it's not about saying that, okay, your formula is the best, but you're going to establish in that in your webinar that if they get on this journey with you, if they get on this vehicle with you, they're going to be reaching their goals. Okay. So the purpose of the drill or the purpose of your product is to help them reach their goal, their outcome. And anything that can substantiate that. When I say e-learning industry is huge, it's going to become $350 billion industry. How many of you would like a small piece of this $350 billion industry? Now people can see that. It's like, wow, I want to be a part of this vehicle now. I want to get into this car. Because this is an industry that's booming right now. Are all of you able to understand? Type yes in the chat box. If you're able to understand what kind of a stat you need to drop here. There are many stats you can pull up from the internet. But also choose your stats in such a way that it pulls people in a direction that they want to get into this journey too. Okay, they want to get into this vehicle and establish the importance of the vehicle. Now the next 15 minutes is where you need to get into your story. So the story part is more to do with like, don't go on and on about from when you were born and stuff like that. You don't need to go so far. Okay, which village you were born or which place you were born and how many people were there and all that stuff. We don't need to go there. Your story needs to also have a particular format and template. Share your story where within 10 minutes you're able to establish your credibility by sharing key lessons. So if you look at my story, I would quickly skim through the let me share the slides again. Okay, my slides would go like this. Okay, see, the mobile learning market is booming right now. E-learning industry is booming right now. Knowledge business industry is booming, and so what I'm going to teach you in this webinar is I'm going to help you find your niche, build digital products, and get autopilot sales. And at the end of the webinar, I'm also going to share with you a formula on how you can achieve 3 lakh rupees per month. And this formula has been applied by many of my students who have achieved this. So I share different examples of students who have achieved this, that what you're going to be learning today is proven. And my backstory, my background is very simple. I'm a college dropout, musician turned internet geek. I work 100% from home. I've trained over 300,000 people, built a multi-million-dollar business, have over 15,000 paid members in my community, husband of a loving wife, father of 2 boys, and my roots are grounded in spirituality and minimalism. There's a picture of me and my wife, my 2 kiddos, and my bigger family called the Internet Lifestyle Hub. I've had the opportunity to work with Robert Kiyosaki, Jack Canfield, Tony Robbins, DeMartini, Brian Tracy. But the reason why you're here is it okay if I can share with you what were the turning points of my journey? Okay, so I'll let me pause now and come back. Okay, are all of you able to understand that when I'm talking about my credibility, I don't want to talk in such a way where I want to show I'm greater than them. Yes, it's more like I've done all of these things, but is it okay if I can share with you the key principles that helped me, or the key lessons that I learned that helped me achieve these milestones? Now they're open. Okay. Are all of you able to understand the difference between putting flowers on yourself versus you bringing out the essence of your journey? Yeah, type yes with a lot of exclamation marks. Don't put flowers on yourself. Okay, bring out the nuggets from what helped you become successful. Okay, so in your backstory, now if you look at my story, I go back into saying that the turning point was, in spite of me sharing the stage with Brian Tracy and all, I was not successful. I did not have any cash flow. I did not have any freedom. And the turning point was when I won this trip to Miami, Florida. I got to spend time with my mentor, and he shared with me 3 key lessons. First, he said, systems work, people fail. Second lesson, he said, don't be cheap on your journey towards greatness. And the third lesson he shared with me is that your focus is your most valuable asset. And by implementing these 3 ideas in 90 days, I was able to hit my first $20,000 a month in this journey. Okay, I built a $5 million business without any office, 15,000 paid members. And then I just share some credibility more, saying that I also wrote a book based on this. Okay, so then so I'll come to the next part. Okay, so overall, the time that I'm spending on my backstory is maximum 10 minutes. Like, I did it now in a minute, but if I have to expand on it, maximum 10 minutes. So your story itself becomes like an education piece for them. It's not a self-adoration piece. Got it? Type got it in the comment box. It's an education piece. They're getting the essence of what helped you break through your own your barriers on your journey. So even if you won an award, even if you won something, that's great. You have to talk about it, but you can say what helped you achieve that, what lesson that you applied into your life. Okay, and then you get into an emotional story. So for me, my emotional story is, all of you know the story, flashback 1991. I come back from, it was a defining moment of my life. I love my grandfather so much. I asked him, why should I go to school? He said, never let schooling interfere with your education. And because of this one lesson, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm on a mission to redefine the education employment system by helping 1 million people become digital coaches, because I'm not a graduate. Okay. So this emotional story has to be a mission story which reveals why you do what you do. Okay. Let me increase my volume. Okay. See, and this mission story, how many of you have not yet thought about a mission story yet? Type NY if you don't have a mission story yet. I want you to think back in your life. It need not even be connected to your topic. Was there a moment, an emotionally charged moment from your childhood or whenever, that is inspiring you to do more in what you're doing now? Just think about it. And the more vulnerable that story, the better it is. Because then, once people get to know your success story, your backstory, and then they get to know your emotional story, by this time they're already sold to you as a person and they want to be a part of the mission. And normally, in my webinar, I'd say that, the reason I'm doing this webinar is not just to help you make money as a coach and stuff. I really want to invite you into this bigger mission where we can together make a difference in the world by becoming teachers and leaders and building communities. Like, how many of you who, if you're able to recollect the webinar that you attended and bought my product, how many of you are able to recollect that moment when I said this, where you felt that connection with me? Type me in the chat box if you're able to recollect that moment. Yeah. When I shared my grandpa's story and said that the reason why I'm doing it, I want to carry forward my grandfather's legacy and I want us to do it together. So by this time, you've already bought me as a person. Okay. So when you're doing this for yourself, think about that story and clarify your mission. And then after I share the mission, I go on to saying, okay, so the reason why I'm doing this is because I want you to live more a lifestyle of freedom. I want you to spend more time with your family, and I want you to serve more people with your expertise. And if you're serious about this, then today's webinar is for you. So this is like a very strong start to the webinar, where from this moment on, people are ready to listen. Until this point, there's still going to be people who are skeptical. They'll still be thinking about, who's this person? Why should I listen to this person? Does this person really know what they're talking about? And you know what? Even if you don't have any credibility, let's say you don't have any experience, you don't have any success stories, you don't have any results to show, you've not made any money in this business also, okay? You're starting from ground zero. Even if you don't have any of this results, you can share in your backstory, like how much of time have you spent in learning about your topic? How passionate are you about your subject? Share your mission story and say that the reason why I'm doing this is because I really want to help you and I want to help us grow together. I mean, are all of you able to understand that you don't have to flash big result numbers to gain authority and credibility? You need to be authentic, genuine, and vulnerable. If you got that, just type GT in the comment box. You don't have to say that, oh, I made 1 crore rupees, so come and buy my product. You don't need to do that. You can say that I'm doing this because I want us to work together. That is even more powerful than saying and flashing around numbers. For how many of you here, this is a sigh of relief? Feeling like, Wow, I don't have to show my numbers to others because I don't have any number. That's fine. People connect with your mission. They connect with you. And you can even be honest. You can say, I'm just starting off on this journey and I really want to work with you. I want you to be my next success story. That's perfectly fine. Okay. And then what you do is, okay, now this third part is it's optional. Okay. Don't do this unless you're super confident. It's called a trial close. So what I would do in a webinar, in my live webinars, I would do this, not in an automated webinar. So when I would finish the mission story, I'll say, okay, this is my mission and I want to help redefine the system. I want you to achieve freedom, family, and service. Are you serious about this journey? If I can prove to you that you can make 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh rupees in this business, if I can prove it to you, how many of you will be in a position to make a financial decision of rupees 14,999 rupees to get into my community at the end of this webinar? Type yes or no in the chat box. This is called a trial close. I'll repeat the line once again. It's like, if I can prove to you that you can achieve whatever goals that you want over the next 90 minutes, would you be in a position to make a financial decision of rupees 14,999 rupees at the end of this webinar to be a part of my community? Type yes or no in the chat box. Whether your answer is yes or it's a no, it does not matter to me. I just want to know how many of you are serious. So let's get started. I'm going to be getting into the content. Okay. Now this is an example of a trial close. Okay. And exactly like Liz mentioned, it takes a lot of guts to say it in the 30th minute of the webinar. And like I said, you need to be really confident for this. And now the purpose of this trial close is to burn a number inside their head. It's not the final offer. It is 14,999. It's like the retail price, which is on the website. Okay. Now, what's going to happen is, if you do this piece really well, when you are sharing your content, would all of you agree with me that at the back of their mind, they're always going to be thinking is, how can I afford this? How can I afford this? They're always thinking about that number. Yes or no? Yeah. And the more and more and more you like over deliver value on your content pieces, which I'm going to come to next, they are going to be thinking about that. They're going to be thinking about, okay, let me somehow make it happen. This person knows what they're talking about. This person knows the stuff. This person will be able to help me reach my goals. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Lavanya. By the way, I want all of you to keep this in mind. What I'm sharing with you here is pure gold. Okay. I've taken the best of the best elements from everywhere. Can I have a commitment from all of you that you will use this with the highest level of ethics and morality and authenticity? Yeah. Type yes in the chat box. I don't want you to use this template to sell some crap out there. Okay. Let's use this because this is a very powerful template, what I'm sharing with you. Okay. Sell awesome stuff, but use it the right way. Okay. So I'll come to content later. Are all of you clear on the first 30 minutes? Type super clear in the chat box. Go in the same sequence. Don't reorder the sequence. This is the template. Follow the template. Okay. Acknowledge, values, WIFM, context setting, industry stats, backstory, emotional story, trial close, optional, not for the new people. Okay. Once you've gained confidence, then you can do this. Then we come into content. So content it's actually the simple part. In a 90 minutes webinar, you need to teach only for 30 minutes. Okay, because 30 minutes is it's finished with your intro. You've already taught a lot. You've shared your lessons from your journey. You spoke about industry stats. Okay, you've already shared a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of value add. The next 30 minutes, focus on 3 secrets. Okay, 3 things that you want to share. So you can talk about, so the first 10 minutes, each secret, you can follow this template. Like if I'm going to be talking about how do you find your niche is the first secret. How do you build digital products? The second secret. How to get autopilot sales is the third secret. So how do you find your niche? Talk about what is the concept all about? Why is it important for them? How can it help you? How can they apply that concept? And then you share a story or a case study of somebody who applied that secret, who got the result. Now, if you don't have any case studies of your own, of your students, you can borrow credibility from other people. When I was starting off my initial webinars, I had 0 results. I was looking at Vic Strises, his student success stories. I was looking at my mentor's success stories, his own success. And I said, my mentor, Vic Strises, by implementing this, he was able to achieve these kind of results. So I was borrowing credibility. All of you just type BC in the chat box. When you don't have any credibility in the initial stage, you can borrow credibility by giving other people's examples, industry examples. Okay. And then what you do is second secret, third secret. So exactly in the 1 hour mark of your webinar, you should have completed the content. And again, if you see, the attention span of a person is around 1 hour. Like if you are able to hold them really well. See, people are doing 4-day, 5-day workshops and stuff. It's different. We're teaching for 2 hours. The people are coming in there, they are super serious and stuff. Okay. And they want to like really learn more or learn some skill or learn some advanced strategies. It works well for some topics. But in a webinar, if you're able to deliver an impact within the first 1 hour, in most cases, people are ready to make a decision and buy. Okay. And I've noticed in some webinars, what I've done is I've gone on to do more secrets. I've shared like five secrets. In some webinars, I did more than some 10 things I shared. And in some webinars, I've done more teaching. And I've noticed my conversions have dropped in those webinars. In other words, sometimes when you over teach in a sales webinar, the audience will feel that they'll let me first implement whatever has been taught, and then I will come and buy later, but they will not come later and buy. Have any of you experienced that in your webinars where you have over taught? Type OT in the chat box if you have over taught your audience. Yeah. Where you have taught them so much, you get into the passion of teaching and you love what you're teaching. But then what happens is they feel, okay, nobody buys. They feel, okay, I've got enough value, let me go. Yes. So in case you're not getting good sales in your webinars, also check whether you're over teaching. See, in this format here, I'm not trying to sell anything. Okay, there's no selling in a hackathon. Here, I'm going all out and opening up the hatches and sharing everything. I'm over teaching over here, and I'm perfectly fine inside the community. When people have bought and come inside my world, I'll go all out. Okay, I'll give like 100x value. But in a sales webinar, it is a system. Okay, it is a system. So don't over teach, and just give them enough information where they're able to make a decision. The purpose of the sales webinar is for them to make a decision. The decision to continue the journey with you. Okay. So it's more like you're giving them the map. You're telling them what is there in the map to reaching their goals. But for them to implement that map, they have to come inside your paid community. If this makes sense, type MS in the chat box. Tell them what all is required to be successful to reaching their goals. But for them to be successful, they have to come into the implementation inside your community. And I give the example, there's a lot of unstructured knowledge outside on the internet, on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and you can get confused. But what people are paying for is for structured implementation accountability. So that's something that you have to think about when you're designing your content. Now, through your content, think about breaking 3 resistances. Now, as I share this with you, you'll realize that I've done this in a very discreet way. That is why you're here. Okay. I did this in a way in my webinar where you didn't even know it was happening. But now when I share these 3 resistances, right, you'll be like, wow, that I actually solved those. I actually bashed down 3 resistances from your head. Would you like to know what the 3 resistances are? Type BIO in the chat box. Let's bring it on. Okay. As human beings, we have 3 major resistances when it comes to buying. Okay. Nobody likes to be sold to. Like, how many of you here, you got a call from a credit card guy or some insurance guy and you just shut the call, right? You've been in that situation before. Type BT in the chat box. You've been there. Like, we get these calls. We don't like to be sold to. And with so much of advertising hitting our our social media channels and calls, now 2020 and beyond, as humans, we all have a natural shield to anything being sold to us, and we don't and it's something that we don't like as human beings. Okay, so the best way to sell is to break down resistances. Okay, the first resistance that you might have had when you came into my first webinar was the resistance of the vehicle itself. Like, you might have come into the webinar like a skeptic, folding your hands and like, what is this digital coaching thing? Why should I create courses? Why should I do e-learning stuff? I'm very happy in my own world. And suddenly you see these numbers. You see, okay, this person is making this much money. This coach is doing this much money. This person is teaching Bollywood songs and making this much money. This person is getting on this journey. And suddenly you're like, what the hell? I'm missing the party, right? How many of you felt that? Give me a smiley in the chat box. Yes. Yeah, you felt that, right? Like, I'm missing the party. Where was I? I'm sitting under a rock for so many years, and I want to be on this journey too. Okay, so you want to get into the vehicle. So to establish the vehicle, I use logic, I use numbers, I use statistics, and of course I use some case studies also, like before and after case study of some of my students. And of course I also the models that I share, like how do you find your niche, like how do you really get on this vehicle. I shared all of that, all the details in my webinar. Okay, so the story and case study that I shared has that I would have shared has established the importance of the vehicle. Okay, the second resistance that you might have had is you might have thought like, okay man, I want to get into this digital coaching thing, it's pretty interesting, but I do not know if I can do it. I don't look so good. I do not know if I'll have confidence on camera. I don't know if I can record all of these videos and stuff like that. I don't think I'm good enough. And then these are all internal fears. Okay, and then these internal fears, as they were running in your mind, I would have given some examples. I say like, this person was started in this journey and they were also like not having any background, and they came in, they achieved it. And suddenly you would have thought, man, if this person can do it, I can also do it. Yes, how many of you felt that? Give me a smile in the chat box. If this bugger can do it, I will do it. Okay, so that is an example of how to break internal fears. Yeah, and for that I used emotion. It's a combination of emotion and logic also, but mostly emotional. Like, I think I share an before I used to share an example of this guy called Slogan. He was there. He said, I never used to speak on camera. I could never speak confidently on camera. I came into the system. I applied it. In 3 to 9 months, I'm making 1 lakh rupees per month. Boom. It's like, wow. If this fellow can do it, I can do it. So that's also something you got to think about, how you can bash down their internal fears. Okay. And then you might have got another fear, which is, okay, I want to be a part of this journey now. Yes, I think I can do it. I'm willing to give this a shot, but I'm not a technical person. I'm very, very poor with technology. I'm crippled with technology. I'm not sure if I can do it. I'm not good in my speaking. I'm not good in my language and all that stuff. These are all external fears, external stuff. Okay. And for this, I brought both logic and emotion. I say, you know what? We have a very strong support system. We have an accountability system. We have this hackathon. We have this game. We have different gamification levels. And you know what? You're not alone on this journey. So whenever you feel stuck, there's somebody to help you out. And I want our relationship to begin from today. I'm there to help you, handhold you, and support you on this. Now, when I use that, the support system as the hook, like many of you thought like, yes, good. Now I'm ready. So how many of you are able to get it now? Just type BO if your bulb went on. I've just deconstructed my sales pitch. I mean, actually, I deconstructed my content piece, not the sales pitch. So when you're designing the content for your webinar, it has to address the resistances. You have to keep breaking down resistances. In fact, the best thing to do is make a list of all the questions. Like you put yourself in the shoes of the audience, and you become the skeptic, and you make a list of all the questions of, like, put yourself in the shoes of a person who's a skeptic and who does not want to buy your product, and all the excuses. Make a list of all the excuses that you can give, and then see how you can address those resistances in your content. If this was a golden tip, type GT in the chat box. This is a golden tip. This is how I slowly built my conversion rate moving up in my webinars. And in my initial webinars, after I would do the sales pitch, and if people would not buy, right, I would put a Google form and ask my audience. I would ask my audience that, I know many of you found the content useful, but for those of you who did not buy my product, who didn't get into my community, if you can just tell me why you did not get in, I'll be more than happy to address your challenge. And I had a Google form with at least 400 or 500 resistances that they openly revealed. And then I took those resistances, crystallized them, and saw how I can break those resistances in the next webinar. So every time I would do a webinar, I would go back and see, what can I improve better? What can I improve better? What can I do better in the next webinar? So, and the best part is, as I was going through webinar 200, webinar 300, I by that time I knew exactly what was behind the minds of the audience, because I'd sequenced it that way. And usually, and I think by that time, at the end of the webinars, people did not have many questions. The only resistance was like, I don't have money. Okay, fine. If you don't have money, you can, that's your call. Okay. Or I don't have enough time. That's fine. That's your call. I don't have resources. Because there's nothing else that they can ask me, because I've addressed all those resistances. How many of you are able to see the brilliance of seeing through the eyes of your audience? Type I in the chat box. Start to develop this tertiary vision, if I should call it. Put yourself in a third person view. Like, put yourself, like, every time you feel that something is not working, close your eyes, imagine you're the prospect or you're the student, and start to think from their vision. What is the problem? I do this a lot. Like, even if I have to think about content ideas, like, I'm just sitting over here, I think about putting myself in the shoes of my audience, and then, okay, what will they want to ask me? Let me type that out. And like that, I get a lot of ideas. It's a very simple concept, but those of you who apply this, you'll start to get those answers. And when you run polls, you keep running polls with your community, you'll start to understand what they really want. Okay. Now let's come to the last part, which is the sales part. Now, if you see logically, here you have established your presence with the audience. They've connected with you as a person. Here, people connect with you and your backstory. You've done the trial close, and you're sharing like mind-blowing information in your 3 secrets. You're bashing down resistances, all happening within 60 minutes. Okay. By this time, they are ready. They're ready to actually make the decision to move on. Okay. I mean, to continue the journey with you. So at this point, you have to make the offer. 60th minute, maybe 75th minute, sometimes 90 minutes also. I've got some good conversions even when I start selling at 90 minutes and ending at 2 hours. But you can keep trying this. Okay. So when it comes to the offer, there are 2 parts. The first thing is there has to be a sales bridge, because suddenly you're teaching And then if you start to talk about your products and see, this is my value of my products and this is the actual price of my products. Like if you go straight away into the price of your courses without asking them permission, it would completely put them off. Would all of you agree? Type agree in the chat box. Like if you go from content straight away to numbers and here, okay, this is what's the price of my products, it will just completely turn people off. So there has to be a sales bridge. So what I would do in a sales bridge is after I've done the content, I ask people two questions. Okay. The first question is, how many of you realize that there is a lot more to learn when it comes to implementing this knowledge, whatever I've shared with you? Everyone will type yes, 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 yes. Second question is the more important question. I would say, how many of you realize that by you not implementing the system in the sequence that I'm giving you, that you're going to be wasting a lot of your time, a lot of your money, and a lot of your energy trying to figure things out in your own way? If you realize that, type MO in the chat box. I would type, everyone will type MO, 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 MO. Okay. And then I would ask, how many of you are really serious? And so I would ask them, can I have your permission, okay, to tell you more about what I have designed for you in my paid community membership? Can I have your permission? If you're interested about this, type I am serious in the chat box. Okay. And everyone will type I'm serious. And I'll say, I want to now talk only to the people who are serious about continuing this learning journey with me. If you feel that this is not for you, if you feel that this is not your cup of tea, you can leave. Because next I'm going to be talking to you about what's in my paid program. And there'll be people who leave the room. It's actually good if they leave the room. Now imagine, okay, if you do this, who's the pressure on? Is the pressure on you or the audience? Audience, right? You have to remove the pressure out of yourself because you're asking the permission. And if people are still staying, that means they want you. They want to know. And people who don't want it, that's perfectly fine. Okay. So system reveal is more like, okay, it's more like I tell people is, and that is why I've created the freedom business model. Okay, system. So the first question is, how many of you realize that there's a lot more to learn? How many of you realize that by you not implementing this, you're going to be wasting a lot of your time, money, and energy? And that is why I've created a system called the freedom business model to help you achieve this goal. Can I have your permission to tell you more about what I have planned for you in my paid community membership? Type I am serious in the chat box. Pause. Get more I am serious. And say, if you feel that this is not your cup of tea, you can leave this webinar. So now you can start the sales pitch. So this part, sales pitch, I'm going to do it live. Okay. Of course, you don't have to buy anything, but I want to do it like with the same energy, like how I would do it in a live webinar. All of you okay with that? Type BIO in the chat box. Okay. So just imagine that I finished a 60-minute training. Okay. And then now I'm going to be selling my silver membership. So I want you to wear the hat of a teacher now. Okay. Previous time when you would have seen my webinar, it would have been more like you are the student and you're buying. Now I want you to put the teacher's hat and observe what I'm doing and take a lot of notes, and we will decode this once I finish the sales pitch. Okay. So let's get started. So just imagine that we finished the first part of the teaching. So all of you just type RSG in the chat box. I'm pulling up my slides. RSG is ready, set, go. Okay. Super. So thank you so much for actually being with me for the last 1 hour. I want to really appreciate each one of you for your time. And I want to honestly ask you two questions. Number one is, how many of you realize that there is a lot more to learn when it comes to implementing whatever I've taught you? Type yes in the chat box. Because you learned for the last 60 minutes, but I'm not sure if you can actually put this into action. Thank you. Thank you. My second question is the more important question. How many of you realize that by you not implementing whatever I've taught you in the same sequence of implementation, that you're going to be wasting a lot of your time, your money, your energy trying to figure things out on your own. If you realize that, just type MO in the chat box. If your mind is open to a new way of doing things. And that is why I've created a system called the Freedom Business Model System to help you implement all of this in the right sequence so that you do not waste your time, you do not waste your money, you do not waste your energy to do this. Now, if you feel that this is not for you, that's perfectly fine. You can leave this webinar. Okay, if this is not your cup of tea, it's perfectly fine. But can I have your permission to tell you more about what I've designed for you in my paid community? Type I am serious in the chat box if you're serious about this. Because for the next 5 to 10 minutes, I want to talk to the people who are really serious. I want to work with action takers because this is not going to be a walk in the park. There is a journey to this. This is not about getting rich quick or anything. There's nothing like getting rich quick. You got to put in the effort, and I want to work with people who are willing to put in that effort. Okay. Thank you so much. So what I've done is I've actually designed a journey for you. And in this journey, I'm going to walk you through this. It's called the Freedom 3.0 journey. Now, this is a journey of going from being in the starter stage to going to a freedom finisher stage, which I'll tell you more about in 3 months, where you set up all your systems, then hitting the Hall of Fame, where you're achieving your first 3 lakh rupees in revenue, to going to a crore club from that point, another 12 months into the game, achieving your first 1 crore, to hitting 10 crores over a span of next 3 to 5 years in total duration. So how many of you are willing to step into this journey towards 10 crores in total revenue sales? Just type I am ready in the chat box. Okay, so I'm welcoming you into a 5-year journey to 10 crores. That is the Freedom 3.0 journey. Now, why 10 crores? Like, I've done more than 40 in this business in the last 4 years. And I have many students who have crossed the 1 crore mark in 18, 19 months. And I can't guarantee that you will be able to achieve this. But those of you who are able to implement this with precision and with the right energy and focus, you could do it faster, you could do it slower. But the whole thing is that this is a system that has been designed for you. Okay. So the first thing is you need to have the right mindset. There are 4 elements to be successful to reaching 10 crores in revenue. Second is you need to have an element of charity, because if you're tight-fisted with money, you're not going to be making money. So when you come into a community, we have a strong charity element, which I'll tell you more about once you're inside. You got to write your goals every single day, and you have to attend all my events live. We have pre-recorded video content, and we also have live masterminds and events and hackathons and multiple other things. Okay. So how many of you here are willing to commit to the learning journey with me 100%? Type 100% in the chat box. Okay. So I want you to imagine like you're going back to school and college and doing an MBA program or something. And this is truly like an MBA program, okay, where you're going to be getting all the things step by step systematically. And only difference is you don't have to spend 3-4 years to like do an MBA and just learn and stuff. You're going to be learning and implementing on the go. Okay. So first of all, if you don't have any experience in this topic, it does not really matter. Okay. All you have to be is open and coachable. 2 is if you're a non-technical person, if you're technology challenged and stuff like that, don't worry. If you can use Facebook and WhatsApp, if you can point on a screen and click with your mouse, you can do whatever I'm going to teach you. Okay. I'm not going to make you do any coding and stuff like that. Okay. The other thing is if you're not fluent in the language, maybe you don't speak English fluently, you want to speak in your own mother tongue, that's perfectly fine. In fact, the other languages are bigger markets as compared to English. I speak only English. If I speak in Hindi or any other language, it will be a big comedy show. Okay. I don't do that. So I want to get you into the ultimate training system designed to give you freedom. How many of you want freedom? Type freedom in the chat box. And freedom does not come for free. Okay. There is a journey to this, and there's a way on how to really build this up for yourself over a span of next 3 to 5 years. So the first stage of the journey is, as a starter stage, there's a learning path and there's an implementation path. First is you need to go through my Freedom Business Model course. It's a 3-day course where I will help you design your freedom business model, and I'll set the foundation for you. This course is 14,999 rupees in value. Okay, but because you're here in this in today's session, I'm going to give you a special offer and some gifts and goodies also. When you complete this course, you get a certificate of completion. It's a certification course. And when you submit this certificate, once you get it, I'm going to give you a t-shirt. So in a 3-day challenge, you can win a free t-shirt. There are different colors that you can choose from, where a certain icon coach on it. And then once you finish this, then you're going to be going through the next course, which is called Niche Clarity Blueprints. Niche Clarity Blueprints, I'll be helping you find your micro niche in 1 day with more than 500 templates. You have lifetime access to this. where I'll be helping you find this. The actual value of this is 12,500 rupees, but I'm going to give it to you for free because you're here live in this particular webinar. In fact, Lopamudra Sen said, I was looking for something just like this in the last 4 years. I'm glad that I finally started the journey and I was visualizing every day since the last few years. Thank you so much, Siddharth sir, for helping me find out my micro niche. Yes, this is something my mind and heart were searching for. Look forward to help millions of people live a happy and better life. Sincere gratitude from the core of my heart. So thank you, Lopamudra, for that. Once you finish this, then I'm going to be taking you into curriculum design, where I'm going to give you templates, proven templates on how to design high impact courses. The actual value of this course is 12,500 rupees in value, but I'm going to give this to you absolutely for free when you complete the transaction today and come into the community. Chanchal has mentioned this. He says that the way you teach and make us do things along as we study is fabulous and gets a lot of momentum and progress in our work. Your videos are short, but very crisp and to the point and easy to follow. So how many of you here would like a learning system where there's no BS? Type me in the chat box. I'm a no fluff, point shooter style teacher. And if you like that, that's what you're going to be getting in all my courses. My videos may be very short, 2-3 minute videos, but it'll be just to the point. So, and that's how I will also teach you how to build your own courses. Then we'll get into budgeting. How many of you have this question in your mind on how much money to invest in a business like this? Type me in the comment box. Like how much money to invest on ads, how much money to invest on tools, how much money to invest in my personal branding and my website setup and the email marketing system. What I've done is I've created a course exclusively for this where you can create your own one-page business plan with some spreadsheet templates, which is actually 9,500 rupees in value. I'm going to give this to you for free when you complete the transaction right now when I give you the link. Once you complete Freedom Business Blueprint, you can get into funnel building formula. This is the next course. Here I'll be teaching you how to craft high converting sales funnels. There are 12 different marketing funnels that you can use. There's 34,500 rupees in value, but I'm going to give this to you also for free when you complete the transaction. So in essence, you have 5 courses that you're going to be getting, and it has to be completed in this sequence. If all of you are clear on the sequence, type clear in the chat box. If you change the order of learning, you're not going to get the result. Like if I give you a 6-step process to make a pizza, and if you change the order, you will not get a pizza. Same way, when you go through my courses, when you're going through this sequential learning, only then you'll get the desired output. So what is the output? What are you going to be implementing? Number one is I'm going to be getting you into another challenge, which I'll come to next. Okay, so 30-day challenge to complete those 5 courses. In fact, Sandy R, he's mentioned Siddharth brings in fun combined with a lot of relevant knowledge that's aligned to whatever he claims to offer. One warning is get set and go. You have to work hard to enjoy the fruits later. So that puts you through the grill, which is a good thing. We will value all that he's sharing once we get the desired outcomes. So once again, I'm going to ask all of you, how many of you are ready to be an action taker? Type AT in the chat box. Yeah, this is an action taking game. It is not just a knowledge gathering game. Please keep that in mind. Thank you. So what's the first action you're going to take? I'm going to help you launch your first level membership, anywhere between 5,000-10,000 rupee membership within 90 days. Okay. Now to launch this, you have to first learn how to set up a lead magnet to attract the right leads. So I have a course called Freedom Lead Gen Challenge where I'll help you attract 100 leads within 10 days within 30 days without spending any money on ads. This is 9,999 in value. I'm going to give this to you for free when you complete the transaction and get in today. Once you complete this, I will teach you how to build a Facebook group. I will teach you how to set up your systems, your website, your learning management system, your email marketing system. And all of this will be covered in a 90-day challenge that I do once in a quarter called the Hackathon. This is delivered live. There are 12 missions, which is very action oriented. And the best part is I'll put you into different teams, and there's going to be a lot of gamification and fun as you do this. And by the way, how many of you here would like to have a lot of fun as you're learning? Type the word fun in the chat box. Because learning has to be fun. You know, it's not like old college and school days where the teacher is so boring and just writing on the blackboard. It's not like that. We are in a different mode of learning, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And the fun happens when you're put into groups and stuff. So this learning, what you're going to be going through in Hackathon, is going to be a fun game. And the best part is when you finish the Hackathon, you will get an award, a reward, a t-shirt, and vouchers, and all kinds of gifts that we give when you complete this. So this Hackathon access, you're going to get free when you complete the transaction, come into our community. And finally, one-to-ones. See, in the beginning stages of the journey, you need to learn how to do one-to-one coaching. And I have a course called Freedom Coach Blueprint on how to do basic one-to-one coaching so that you can understand what your market needs to build better digital products. In fact, I have an interview with Jack Canfield also on this. This course is 12,500 rupees in value, and I'm going to give this to you absolutely for free when you complete the transaction and come in today into our community. And I have another course on affiliate marketing on how to make money by selling other people's products, where I have an interview with my mentor, Vic Strizes, in that particular course. This is 12,500 rupees in value, and I'm also going to give this to you for free today because you're here live in this particular webinar. In fact, Shivram said this in one of his testimonies. He said, "I'm sorry, Sid. Last time I was a bit skeptical about the course, but man, you've earned my respect. So much effort in just introductions. I actually want to design my course on this very scale as you have done." So any of you here who are skeptical, I can understand that, but give it a chance, okay? And I will prove you that whatever I'm teaching is actually practical, is implementable, and you're going to see the value of this, okay? Now, once you finish this, you're going to be reaching something called the Freedom Finisher in 3 months. And the goal is in 90 days, I'm going to help you launch your ecosystem. Meaning, I'm going to help you build your influence using long form videos. I'm going to help you set up your own private group so that you can attract at least 500 people in that group, and how you can attract 500 organic leads in 3 months following the system. And the goal is by the end of all of this, you should be able to sell a 5,000 or a 10,000 rupee membership to start getting a cash flow without spending any money on ads. It's after this that you start getting into ads. So if all of you are clear on this learning and implementation path, just type clear in the chat box. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So what you're going to be investing in is not just a bunch of courses. You're going to be investing into a community membership and a journey that is going to be a combination of learning and implementation, and a community to support you on that. Okay. So what we have is, to make it fun, we have a 3-day challenge, you get a t-shirt, 30-day challenge, you complete those 5 courses, 90-day challenge, you complete the Freedom Finisher. So we have a lot of rewards and recognition with simple implementation. All you have to do is show up in all the calls, attend all the sessions, and take action. Okay. Now, just like this, we have a different learning path and implementation path to helping you achieve your first 3 lakhs in this. And then we have a different learning implementation path to take you to 1 crore. This is the most systematic learning system on the planet. How can I say that confidently? It has taken me 10 years to design this. It has taken me 4 years of experimentation. And what you're seeing here is like the essence of all of that. So how many of you here would like to cut short a 10-year learning curve by doing this in the next 1 year? Type me in the chat box. Okay. The results could vary from person to person, but you don't have to figure things out. It's already figured out. Okay. So my Freedom 3.0 learning system comprises of all these different courses. The total value of the bundle is 1,46,898. If you go and try to buy directly on my website, it is currently 14,910 rupees on my website. You're going to get a personal login and password where you can access all the courses on a learning management system. You can even learn on your mobile phone on the go on your browser. And if you want more, just type more in the chat box. Yes, type more in the chat box. Some of you want more. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. So if you want more, I believe that my relationship with my customers has to begin at the point of sale. Once you make the transaction and come into my community, our relationship is going to be a lifetime relationship, and you're going to get lifetime access. Okay, so all of you just type LT in the chat box. I want to give you lifetime access to my courses, and I want to build a lifetime relationship with you. And for that, I have a community member. I have a community access. We have our own dedicated private social network where you can connect with not just me, but more than 15,000 active members, where there's location-based tagging. It's a private network where you can make posts and engage with members. You can chat with like-minded experts and get inspired, and you can get answers to all your questions on our 24/7 support forum. Okay, how many of you here would like to get the support after getting into the community? Type the word support in the chat box. Yeah. And this is a members only access. Public cannot access this. Only people are the paid members. So it's a very high quality network that we have. And you can also find an accountability partner within this network. And when you go through my courses, I will teach you how you can find an accountability partner so that you can take action. Okay. Tripti says, it's not just a course. Siddharth is with us always and wants us to succeed. Being a part of his community is one of the best thing ever. Hackathon has helped me to get into action mode and implement. Most importantly, you transform fundamentally and start with the right intentions. Thank you, Tripti, for that. So those of you who are really serious about this, you will see that as long as you're attending the calls, you'll see the momentum building in this. Even if you feel a little bit fearful or nervous that I'm not sure if I can do this, or if you feel that, I'm on my own, I'm not technical, I'm not confident, I don't look good, I'm not good in my communication, don't worry, there's a whole community to back you on this. Okay. So the actual value of my private social network access is 30,000 rupees per year. But since you're here in the webinar, I'm going to give you this as a free access, as a lifetime access with a one-time payment that you're making to come in. Okay. Now, how many of you here want more than this? Just type GMM in the chat box. Give me more. If you want more than this. The reason I want to give you more is what I believe in strongly is if you pay me even 1 rupee, I want to give you 10 rupees in value. Okay. So that's the value system that I have. Okay. Because I believe what goes around comes around. And if you've experienced anything in the past where you paid for something and you did not get the value, you will not experience that in my world. In my world, if you pay me 1 rupee, you'll experience 10x value. And the reason why I'm going to give you more is because of this. Okay. Now, every week, Thursday, 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., I do something called the Inner Circle Mastermind, where you can ask me questions. I give you different updates, and I'm connected with you every single week live. And we also have weekly masterminds. We have daily, weekly freedom meetups where my facilitators come in and they also support and answer questions. So you have over 4 years of weekly Inner Circle Mastermind archives, which is 1999 rupees in value. I'm going to give it to you for free. And over 3 years of archives of freedom meetups, where you'll get all the latest strategies and techniques, which is 29.99 rupees in value. I'm going to give that to you for free. So just this weekly coaching and support is a 50,000 rupee value, which I'm going to give this to you for free. Okay. Again, lifetime support, one-time payment that you make to come in. So if I have to total it up, 11 courses worth 1.46 lakhs, 30K for the network access, and then lifetime support for which is 50K value. So the total value of this entire silver membership is 2,26,895, which you're going to be getting only for 14,999. How many of you can see the value of this? Just type valuable in the chat box. Okay, if you're able to see the value in this. Now you can go and compare this and go to many of the international market players who are selling like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 products. You're going to be experiencing 100x value compared to those products. Okay. Why? Because I've invested in those products. I've seen what I'm getting over there, and I wanted to create something where even a person who cannot afford this, they should be able to come in and make a difference. Because for me, it's beyond. It's not about the money here. It's about creating a revolution of bringing and inspiring people to become more teachers and leaders in the digital space. Okay. And that's the reason I'm giving you this offer. Now, if you see on Trustpilot, I have more than 5,000 reviews. And Neeraj Sharma, his testimonial is, he says, Siddharth's teaching is focused, non-repetitive, high quality, well-structured. I like his methodology of teaching. It is very evident that he's teaching from his soul and spirit. As a pilot, he reminds me of my favorite helicopter flying instructor of training days. I would love to associate with him in the times to come. 5 stars and a diamond heart from my side. Good luck, Sids. Let's make the world better. Messages like this make my day. If I was able to connect with a helicopter pilot, at this level, it really makes my day. I feel that I'm doing the right thing and waking up every single morning to serve more people like this. Okay. So I have helped many people achieve results, a lot of success stories in the community, and it's a fail-proof system. The only way that you can ever fail in this is if you quit. And if you plan to quit, I don't want your money. Keep it to yourself. How many of you are really serious about this? Type serious in the chat box. If you're serious about implementing this. See, if you're planning to quit, then you might as well leave right now. I don't want your money. This is not for you. Okay. But if you're super duper serious, it is a fail-proof system. Now, to what extent you get results depends from person to person. But as long as you're in the pitch batting, you're going to score runs. Okay. So it's a battle-tested system. And as a limited time offer only for today, I'm going to be giving you access to my special silver membership for just $14.99. And I'm going to be giving you another offer, which I'll tell you about. And the reason why I'm giving you a special offer today is because when I got started on this journey, I did not have any money. 2011, I had lost my job. My wife was 3 months pregnant. I had 500 rupees in my bank account. And I had to pawn my wife's gold jewelry to start my business. I still remember the day I went back home and Vanita was there in the bedroom, and I asked her, and I told her, I lost my job. And then she points at her stomach and she said, what do we do about this child? And that shattered me. I didn't feel worthy enough to be a father. I felt like I disgraced my family, and I felt I didn't feel worthy. On that day, I told my wife, Vanita, never ever again will I bring our family into this situation. It was a strong decision that I made. Thanks to the decision I made in 2011, today I'm able to help hundreds of people come out of that same situation. How many of you would agree with me that decisions change your destiny? Type agree in the chat box. Yeah. The reason I'm doing this, I'm giving you an offer, is because I don't want you to go through such an expensive and long learning curve that I went through. Okay. And if you value freedom, you want to run a business from anywhere in the world. If you value spending more time with your family, just like for me, I'm a father of 2 boys. The reason I started the business for both my sons, I want to be at home with them. I want to see them growing in front of my eyes. And if you want to serve more people with your knowledge and expertise, this is your next step. Now, if you don't resonate with these values, please don't get into my community. It's not for you. How many of you here are able to resonate with these values? Just type WU in the chat box if you're with me on this. Thank you. Thank you. If you value freedom, family, and service, this is your next step. Because I'm on a mission to transform the education system by helping 1 million people become digital mentors. And if we can do this collectively together, we can transform our society, we can make the world a better place, and we can all become mentors or implementers, building our own tribes and communities and creating a change in this world, which is the need of the hour right now. So, are you ready for the next step? Yes? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do a quick recap. The total value of the bundle is 2,26,895 rupees. You're going to get 11 courses, network access, and lifetime support. You don't have to invest that much. Okay. The current retail price on the website is 14,999 rupees. As a limited time offer, only for today, inclusive of GST, if you click on that link and make the payment, I'm going to give it to you for just 7,999 rupees. Okay, all of you ready for this? I'm going to do something special. Okay, now the thing is, I've already given a 50% discount. How many of you are ready to make the payment right now if I give you a better deal than this? Type me in the chat box with a lot of exclamation marks. Like if I give you a link right now, within 15 minutes, if you're willing to make the payment, are you ready for a better deal than this? Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Okay, I'm going to give you a link right now to make the payment. And the best deal that I can give you is for 15 minutes. If you complete the transaction within 15 minutes, I'm going to give you this entire bundle for not 14,999 rupees. You don't have to pay 7,999 rupees. I'm going to give it to you for just, I'm going to start the countdown timer right now. I'm going to give it to you for just rupees 5,999 rupees. Okay. So here's the link. All of you can go complete the transaction, and the timer is starting off right now. Okay. So as soon as you've completed the transaction, and once you're in, just type I'm in the chat box if you're in, and I'm going to personally call out your names as you complete the transaction. So, okay, Aftab, congratulations. Your payment has come through successfully. Welcome to the Internet Lifestyle Hub. You've made the best decision of your life. Looking forward to serving you. I want to welcome Fatima. Great to have you on board. I want to welcome Sundar, Ritu Saraf. I want to welcome Repti Thakur, Masumi Sen. Amazing. Welcome on board. I want to welcome Gaurav K. Gaurav, thank you so much for making the decision. You have made the best decision. I'm willing to commit myself to supporting you on achieving your goals. Welcome to the Internet Lifestyle Hub. I want to welcome Gauravi. I want to welcome Smita. Your payment has come through successfully. Welcome Shalini. Welcome Vinita. Welcome Santosh. Welcome Ashish Sharma. Welcome Harish. Your payment has come through successfully. Welcome Sadab. Awesome. Great to have you on board. We just have another 30 seconds to go. Complete the transaction right now. And just do a quick recap. What are you getting? So for all the payment, whatever you're paying right now, just 5,999. Okay. The price will increase after 15 minutes. What you're going to be getting is the Freedom 3.0 learning system with courses, daily, weekly, monthly, 24/7 support, You're going to get a certification. You get a t-shirt when you finish this. Okay. I love this quote. Decisions change your destiny. Those of you who are sitting on the fence and thinking about it, make the decision right now and make the decision right. That's the best way to do it. Those of you who are not deciding, or if you're not sure about it, okay, if you're sure that this is not for you, that's great. If you're sure that this is for you, that's great. But don't sit in the middle. There's no gray area here. Let it be black or white. Okay. A quick tip I'll give you guys. Those of you sitting on the fence, take a side, because how you do anything is how you do everything. Okay. Whether it's yes or no, it does not make any difference to me. But get into the habit of taking a stance, because that's a very powerful lesson that will take you forward in your life. The power to say no and the power to say yes. Both are important. Okay. The fastest way to grow is to know where the market is going and to get there first. And let me tell you this, you're at the right place, you're at the right time. I hope I've been able to give you the right clarity to be a part of the right community to help you fulfill your goals. Thank you so much. Congratulations to all of you. All of you have made the payment. You'll get instant access right now to our social network, e-learning platform. We have a Telegram group, and you have a lifetime membership on this. So just complete the transaction of 5,999. In case some of you are not able to make the payments, I'll give you another alternate payment link just in a bit. But complete the transaction right now. And I look forward to meeting all of you in our next Inner Circle call. Now, the rest of you who did not make the payment, I just want to share something with all of you. You know what? Just because you did not buy and come into a community does not mean that this is not the journey for you. I understand that. Okay. I want to serve you and support you even beyond this webinar. I hope all of you realize that. Just type yes in the chat box. Okay, for whatever reason, you do not have the time, you do not have the money to buy right now, that's perfectly fine. Please follow me on YouTube. Please follow me on my podcast. Please connect with me on my Facebook group and Twitter. I will continue to add value to you till whenever you feel you're ready to come on board this community. Okay. I understand today may not be the right time, right moment for you, but my doors are always open for you, and I want our relationship to begin in today's webinar. Okay. So those of you who made the payment, congratulations to all of you once again, and waiting to serve you at the highest level in our community to help you become a leader, a mentor, so that you can inspire others with your knowledge. And of course, we do this together with a lot of fun. All the best. Okay, I'm going to take out my sales hat right now. Okay. How many minutes was that? I did not track. Maybe it was 20 minutes. Okay, so let's decode this. Okay, I want to decode this in a different way. Okay, I'm going to run this. I hope all of you are able to see that I've done it over 600 times. This is like batting in the nets. Okay. All of you got that? Give me a smiley in the chat box. I've done this over 600 times. So if you wake me up at 3 a.m. in the morning and said, Sid, start selling your silver membership, I'll just do it. Because I've done it so many times. And now, you know what? In spite of doing it 600 times or 700 times, I have to tell you that there have been webinars where I've got 0 sales. Okay. I'm not kidding. Even now I have webinars where the conversions are not so good. It happens, you know, there's always a difference in audience. You know, there are different kinds of audience that comes in and goes. It could also be my energy on that day. Like today, I feel my energy is great. You know, I just went with the flow because I'm with my own community audience. It's not a cold audience. But you know, some days, you know, I have bad days. So I want all of you to understand that you'll also have bad days even after doing it many times. So if that's a sigh of relief, just give me a smiley once again in the chat box. That's fine. It's part of the journey. It's just part of the game. Like one webinar will bomb and the other one you'll make it up again. Okay. We're not like robots. Okay. We are human beings. So I want to run a poll to find out what all did you observe during the sales pitch. Okay. Give like one word and maximum 2 words. What all did you observe in the sales pitch that I just did? The finer things. It could be words or phrases or something that you picked up, which you did not pick up the last time. I'll just share my screen in a bit. I want all of you to just decode from your perspective. What were your biggest takeaways? Keep them coming. And I hope all of you also observed that that I was inclusive of everyone. Meaning, if somebody did not buy, also you need to respect them. Okay, don't look down upon people just because they did not buy. Treat everyone equally and respect people. Okay, I've seen this in some sales webinars also. Like, it's like the people who bought, you guys are winners. The people who did not buy, you guys are losers. You know, don't go in that direction. Be inclusive and take everybody, and tell the people who do not buy, like what I just said, that, you know, if you do not buy for whatever reason, that's perfectly fine. Stay connected with me on YouTube and get my free information. I'm there to serve you there also. Okay, so let's pull up the points here. So what all did you observe? A lot of points. I can see energy, practice, emotional connect, value, confidence, value addition, flow. There was journey, there's way of selling, salesmanship, experience. There were emotions, 10x value, authenticity, value addition, connection, FOMO, fluency, journey. Keep them coming, okay? So all of you take a screenshot of this and type done in the chat box, because these are the elements that you need to have in you as you are doing your sales pitch. You can see the emotional connect is the highest. I can see many of you here have put that, like you felt the connection with me as a person. Okay, and energy is everything. It's all about energy. Awesome. Just type done once you've taken a screenshot. So while that's happening, I want to now bring it back to the mind map just to decode what is in the sales pitch. So if you observed, I first explained the tripwire. I share the high value, and then I scratch it out and I say, okay, this is the actual, and the special gifts. The total value of it is this. The actual value of it is this much. The total value of the bundle is so much when you complete the transaction. I always kept using when you complete the transaction. So I'm, making them feel that yes, when they complete the transaction, they're going to get the gift. When they complete the transaction, they're going to get the gift. Okay. And then I shared my emotional story. Now, just like how there's a story in the beginning story is it's a mission story. The reason why I do what I do, my grandfather's story. For me, this story is the decision-making story, where I was like, literally, I was in the rock bottom of my life and I felt like crap. Okay. And the decision that I made that day, even now I remember that day also, that it was like 4:35 p.m. in the evening. Okay. I remember that moment so clearly in my mind, and where I felt like a loser. And that grit, I still remember that fire that got lit inside me. Like, my wife is pregnant and I don't have money I don't have a job, and I have $500 in my bank account. This is pathetic. I had that some fire that ignited inside me that day. I can clearly remember the start of this revolution. Okay. So how many of you have a moment like that in your life? Type I in the chat box, where something happened and something got lit inside. Yeah. I want you to think about that story and tell that story, because that is the decision making story where you resolved that you're going to do something with your life, and you just went on with full fire on that. Okay, some of you are in that right moment right now. That's great. Okay, so cherish these moments. Those of you are in that situation right now, cherish it, because this is like 2-3 years from now, you're going to be looking back at this moment. And the beautiful thing about the training and coaching journey is every tough situation ends up becoming a story to tell. Yes, type yes in the chat box. every tough situation that we go through, once we have gone through it, not while we are going through it, becomes a story for us to tell others. Okay. Yes. So then this is more like the hero's journey, like where I started and then like, made the decision. And today, because of that decision, I'm able to come out of that. I'm able to help others come out of that same situation. And then I put the 15 minutes countdown timer. When the countdown timer is going on, I'm welcoming customers. And then what you can do is after the countdown timer, which I did not do, is you can do an orientation session. Okay. Orientation is you can show people inside Teachable how they can access the courses and like 5 minutes orientation. And then APL is alternate payment link. Sometimes, people are not able to pay through InstaMojo. And then you can ask, okay, how many of you are not able to make the payment? You want another payment link, like after the timer is done. So you can create another payment link through Razorpay or something and then get some more sales, at that point of time. And you can tell them that, I'm giving this link only as long as you are live in this webinar because I'm just giving the orientation right now. So here is this other alternate payment link for you to make the payment. So it'll give another boost of sales. And then you can run a Q&A at this point. So throw in a Google form and ask people to ask you questions. Okay. And do it through Google form. Don't do it through Zoom Q&A because you want to document those questions so that you can improve your content the next time. So have one Google form. Say, if you have any questions, ask me in the Google form and I will look into the questions and I'll answer. And as you're answering questions, you can say, okay, here's the alternate payment link, complete the payment and come in so that you do not miss out on this offer. Okay. And when I used to be doing the live, webinars, even on Zoom and stuff before, the discount code that I would create would be for that date. So if today is 13th of December, it'll be 13th of December date. And then as soon as the webinar is over, I'll disable that code. That means if people click on that same link and go to buy, it will show the full rate. And then next time I do the webinar, I'll again create a new code. So I maintain that, like if people try to directly go and buy, they would not get the same price. They have to be there in the webinar to get that price. So I maintain that for a long period of time. Now, since I'm doing automated webinars 365 days in a year, I have different codes for different days, but it keeps shifting like that. Okay, another thing that all of you can do is get people to join. Like you can tell all of you here who could not buy my product in, like if you did not have the money to buy my course, no problem. Please join my Facebook group. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to serve you more. So this is a good point where you can get them connected to you on other social media channels. And then you close the loop. Remember we opened the loop over here. Secret number 3, I'm going to give you a special tool and stuff. Give them that tool. Give it right at the end. Okay. In fact, what you can do is you can even remind people like, hey, don't leave it yet. I'm still having this tool to give all of you. So please stay till the end. You can even seed that idea in the webinar to maintain the retention in the webinar. So overall, this is the webinar selling formula for 90 minutes. If all of you are mind blown by this, type MB in the chat box. You'll get a recording of this anyway. You can watch it many number of times. And those of you who are my gold members, you have a recording of a webinar where I did, I think, over 2.5 lakhs in sales. That entire recording is there, minute to minute. Like you can go and practice and all the templates are given over there. But this is pretty much the flow that I follow. Okay. Everything blown. Okay, got it. Thank you. Yeah. See, the recording and the PDF will be uploaded in our Teachable platform. So all of you can follow this. Okay. By the way, the night is still young. We're going to go until around 11 p.m. You guys want more? Type more in the chat box. Okay. So I've just covered the 90-minute template. Okay. Now I'm going to be walking you through the other templates. Of course, it won't be as long as this one. Pretty much what I've covered here, you can apply in the other templates. But let me show you what are the other templates. So some of you here who tried the 90-minute templates, but let's say you're not getting the sales, like somehow people are not buying, or maybe your topic is such that they need more like practical breakthroughs, not just conceptual information kind of topics, then you can try a 180-minute webinar. So it's 90 plus 90. So you follow this template. First 15 minutes, intro, earning the right, context setting, WIFM. That will be the same thing. Okay. Next 15 minutes, your story, principles, mission, trial, close. That will also remain as it is. 60 minutes, give your 3 secrets, share the concept, mindset, case studies, all of that stuff. Do your sales bridge, offer, and then do your countdown timer, welcome customers. This is your first hit. That means in your first 90 minutes, you have finished the sales. But it's a 3-hour webinar, okay? You continue teaching for 1 hour after that. In fact, you can tell in the beginning of the webinar that, hey guys, it's a 3-hour webinar. The first 90 minutes, I'm going to give you all the concepts. And after that, I'm going to be running you through a self-evaluation test, or I'm going to run you through some self-reflection tool to help you find out your score on how well what is your evaluation score? Like you can do an actual quiz on Google Form. You can create like a quiz with say 20 questions. Each question is 5 points each, and they get a number and the score at the end of that. Any of you here can create something like that. Okay. But keep seeding the idea that this is going to happen only at the end, where they'll get their own self-evaluation score. So what happens is after you finish the countdown timer and finish the sales, then you get into the next part. There'll be some people that will drop off, but those who did not buy, right, who are still there, they will go through this self-evaluation. Then you decode the results. You continue to define the journey, another 45 minutes of training, these two completed. And then you reopen the offer, do Q&A, close more sales, and this becomes a second hit. So this is called like the double hit strategy. Okay. All of you just type DHS in the comment box. It's a double hit strategy. The first hit happens in the 90th minute, and the second hit happens at the 180th minute, 3 hours. So if you feel your topic requires a little bit more, like workshop, you want to make them do something, then you make them do it in the second half, not in the first half. First half, concepts. Finish the sales. Second half, practicals. And when they do it and when they get the breakthrough, leftover sales. People who do not buy in the first 90 minutes, you can still get them to buy. So this, you can maximize your conversions if you're doing it say once a week or twice a week. All of you clear on this format? Type super clear in the chat box if you got this. Yes. So this one is like T20, okay, like T20, and this is like 50 overs match. So it's a little bit longer. And then we have test match, which will go on for 3 days. You guys can try that also, okay, or 5 days. Okay, so this is 180-minute webinar format. Then now we will come to Super 10 or Super 5-hour match. Okay, mini webinar format. How many of you would like to know about this? Type BIO in the chat box. Let's bring it on. What if you can sell your membership in 20 minutes? Why should you take them through a 90-minute process? Okay, so this is something I've discovered, but the thing is, this cannot be applicable for all. Okay, like instant noodles, like Rima's mentioned. Yeah, it can't be applicable for all because you need to have a high level of brand recall, or you need to be at a stage where you have the confidence to pull off sales in a mini webinar. Okay, so let me tell you the logic behind regular webinar and mini webinar. Okay, so in a regular webinar, what are we doing is we are setting the context, intro, content, teach, and then sell. Okay, so it's if I have to put it in simple words, it's teach, and sell. Okay, in a mini webinar, you directly start with the offer. Okay, you have to start with the offer. So if I'm going to do a mini webinar, I'm going to show you a mini webinar that I recorded, but I've not put this out in public. I tested it out for some time. I got some sales, but I didn't want to clash with my existing campaign, so I stopped the campaigns. But I'll show you and I'll tell you where to apply this. Okay, I would not recommend this for most of you here, but I'm just going to give you the idea. Okay, so mini webinar, you make the offer itself. So if I was doing a mini webinar, I'll do it for my diamond membership. Okay, so I'll start by saying that Would you want to be a part of the most premium membership level in the knowledge business? Welcome to Diamond Membership. I'm looking to work with at least 3 to 10 business owner, coaches and trainers who are looking to scale up their business. Okay, so straight away start with the product in the front. Then you establish your authority and credibility. I'll say, hi, I'm Siddharth Rajshekhar. I have built a community of over 20,000 plus coaches and trainers, and I've helped create over 77 plus crorepati's in this particular business. And what I'm going to share with you in this short video is how you can be a part of this membership level. Straight away, membership level. I'm talking about membership right from the word go itself. All of you with me? Type WU in the chat box. If you're with me on this. Okay. Then third part, why this works. The unique mechanism of why my system works is because of whatever. I share some formula. Okay. So you have to think about what's going to get them to say, oh, that is interesting. So if I were to say something like this, I'll say most high ticket consultants and most course creators are only either selling on one-to-one or they're selling only products, but I'm selling memberships, and that creates recurring revenues. Like, oh yeah, this is quite interesting. Okay. Then fourth, then I press the pains of the old way. The old way of doing things is like this. Everybody would do this. Now the new way of doing things is this. And I give an analogy. Okay. An analogy will come later. I'll say, for example, like everything about growing your coaching business is wrong. This is the right way because it's different. And say most coaches do this. And that way, what will happen is the people are actually going through that, the old way. They'll be like, I think I need this new way now. Okay. So that's a fourth piece. The fifth piece is introduce a new model and give an analogy. So I'll give an analogy like, you have to create like a journey. Don't sell the product. Don't sell the service. Sell the journey through the membership. So what should you have? You should have like a level 1 product, like a level 1 membership. You can call it silver membership. Level 2 can be gold membership, comprising of products. Level 3 can be a diamond membership where there's more accountability, there's more audits, there's more, so I explain the model with analogy. Okay. And then number 6 is the process. So if you have to get started on this, the process it's a 3-step process. Okay. So I'll say something like step number 1 is you got to like finalize your niche. Step number 2 is you got to build up and set up your systems. And step number 3, you need to start selling the whole thing. And then you give the offer. So I would say that once you come into Diamond Membership, I'll be helping you implement these 3 steps. Then I do a recap of the whole thing in 2 minutes. By you investing in Diamond Membership, you're going to get access to the Polestar system. You're going to get access to these different courses. And then it's going to have all these different things. And then I give a call to action. If you're interested in Diamond Membership, fill this application form, book a call. Okay. These are different call to actions. Either fill an application form to qualify or book a call so that we can qualify you better. This is for high ticket selling, or just pay a deposit right now to lock your spot in and pay the difference in amount afterwards. Or you can even say the register for the paid workshop. So you can use the mini webinar template for higher ticket products. The irony of this entire game is for people who are comfortable, let's put it this way, you have to spend more time to explain to people to buy low ticket products. But you need lesser time to sell high ticket product. That's the irony of this game. All of you with me, just type with you in the chat box. Okay. Like for me to sell the idea of a quantum to my members, I did not have to do a 2-hour thing. I just said, here's what it is. Here's what you're going to be getting. So as you establish your credibility in the marketplace, for selling higher value products, you need lesser time. But to sell low ticket, you need more time because you have to sell the vehicle, you have to sell the journey. And I have a combination of both. You need to have a combination of both. Honestly, tell me, how many of you in this room never even considered being a coach even 2 or 3 years back? Type me with a lot of exclamation marks. How many of you here in this room never even in your dreams you considered becoming a coach or a trainer. Just see the chat box. Okay, so to really capture a market or to create a demand in the market, you need the low ticket model. But the high ticket model are more refined towards people who are already in the game and who want to scale and move to the next level in the game. If this makes sense, type MS in the chat box. Like, you can't do a mini webinar format for somebody who wants to start like fresh. Like, you could try it out, but it's more catered towards those who want to play the next level game. Okay, so this is the mini webinar template that I wanted to share with all of you. And let me show you the recorded video. So I did a mini webinar recording, which is only for 12 minutes, I think. You guys want to see it? Type BIO, let's bring it on. So mini webinar, let me pull it up. Yeah, 12 minutes. So I tried 2 options. Yeah, one is 12 minutes, one is 16 minutes. I'll just play this to all of you and you'll be able to see just to get an understanding of the flow. Okay, this is more of a simple template. 12 minutes. Okay, I actually sold a gold membership using the same formula. Check it out. Hi there, I'm not here to waste your time. In the next 10 minutes, I'm looking to help 5 experts successfully launch a knowledge business to 1 lakh rupees per month by helping people solve their problems online, so that they can make more money, they can help more people, and live a lifestyle of freedom. Hi, my name is Siddharth Rajshekhar. I've currently helped over 150 experts achieve over 6 figures in digital revenue sales and created 42 crore-patis, 7-figure earners. Personally, I've done over $4 million in the last 40 months with just 3 employees, 3 membership levels, and 2 automated webinars. That's it. I don't do one-to-one high-ticket closing. My calendar is extremely free. I don't have the pain of managing sales teams. I don't have any office. I work 100% from home. And I don't have any social media apps on my phone. If you're looking to build a knowledge business that gives you more freedom, my gold membership is for you. My secret is this: I don't sell products. I don't sell services. I don't even sell workshops or boot camps. I sell memberships. I build deep relationships with my tribe that pays renewable subscriptions, and I currently have over 1,500 people paying me a recurring annual subscription. What they pay for are the 5 C's. Number 1 is community access. 2 is courses. 3, coaching. 4, certification. And 5 is they go through a challenge. Now, if you implement the 5 C's into your model, you'll be able to achieve 1 lakh rupees per month. And let me explain. When you sell a membership to join a mission-oriented community, it has a different vibe. People get attracted to the mission because they crave to be a part of something bigger. They get the support of fellow community members once they join the membership. They take action with conviction, and then they get results much faster. So if you want to build loyal customers and have better cash flow in a knowledge business and more freedom, this is the strategy. You know what? People are tired of just buying courses online. People are tired of just booking strategy calls and going for high ticket closing. They want a deeper connection with like-minded people, and they want results by surrounding themselves with people. And the best way to deliver that is to sell memberships. I don't sell products, and you don't sell products. Don't sell programs, sell community memberships and subscriptions. See, my 7-figure students are applying this exact same strategy. Think about it. Every single mega ecosystem in the world is subscription based. Netflix, Google, Apple, digital tools, and more. All are subscription based. The world is now moving into the membership economy. And the concept seems so simple, but most experts don't even have a clue on how to launch this model. I call it the freedom business model. Think about the good old days, where the rich used to congregate in premium clubs. Even today, there are some exclusive clubs in top metro cities where people cannot just buy a membership. But there is a waiting period. and there is a premium cost to become a member. Yes? And because of that exclusivity, when one does get into that premium membership, they feel worthy and they feel a sense of accomplishment and they value that membership. You know what? That same psychological principle applies even here. Instead of just selling online courses or closing high-ticket clients through one-to-one calls or through workshops, why not offer an exclusive membership into a mission-oriented tribe of action takers? And design your membership with a clear path to achieving a goal. Whether you're into business coaching or health coaching or wealth coaching or relationships coaching or career coaching, or even if you're teaching arts and crafts and music and stuff like that online, design your membership with a clear path to a goal and provide an environment for people. Think of a toll gate. Why do people pay a toll in spite of free roads being there? It's because of time, isn't it? Those who value time are ready to pay the money. And those who are tight-fisted with money and who are not willing to let go of it will end up wasting more time. I'll repeat that. Those who value time will be ready to pay money. And those who are tight-fisted with money will end up wasting more time. And it's as simple as that. I used to travel by bus to school, not in the school bus, but in the public transportation. It used to take me more than 1 hour to hop 2 buses to reach school. If I had someone drop me by car, it would have just been 20 minutes. But what's the difference? Time. Those who value time will be ready to pay the toll. And here we're talking about selling a membership. And selling a membership is like selling a toll entry to surround themselves with like-minded action takers. Does this make sense? This is the strategy. Now let me give you a 3-step process on how to successfully launch a knowledge business to 1 lakh rupees per month by helping people solve their problems within communities. Step number 1 is find your niche and design a 3-level membership. Once you get into my gold membership, I will help you find your niche. Structure your entire membership into 3 levels: silver level, gold level, and diamond level. In the silver membership level, give them a community access. You can have a 3-day course, weekly coaching, a 90-day challenge, as well as certification that you can see over here. Okay. So there are 5 C's that you're incorporating in the silver membership level. The second level can be a more tactical level where you give them tactical courses and put them through another challenge. And they can only go through that second level challenge after they finish the first. And level 3 can be your high ticket coaching, community gamification, annual certification. And that's what I'm doing. I have more than 1,500 people in my diamond membership level right now as I'm recording this video. Now let's talk about the pricing. A good low ticket entry price point would be 9,999 rupees. A good mid ticket pricing can be 19,999 rupees. And a good high ticket pricing would be around 1 lakh rupees per year as a subscription based model. Let's come to step 2. Once you have found your niche and designed your 3-step membership level, then sell memberships using live and automated webinars like what you're experiencing right now. This is an automated webinar. Now my entire flow goes like this. I run Facebook ads, YouTube ads, I post a lot of podcasts and YouTube videos that you can see here. I post on LinkedIn and I have the right audience that's coming to my website and registering for my webinar. They get captured as a lead, they get into my email list, just like how you're here. They enter the webinar, they get incredible value. And at the end of the webinar, I'm going to be offering this membership. And this is the exact model that you can also replicate for yourself, irrespective of whatever topic that you're selling. And the best part is you can completely automate this process once you have crafted your entire system, which is what I'll teach inside my gold membership. Step number 3 is nurture your tribe and help them get results. I'm going to repeat that. It is not just about selling products. It's about helping people get results. And when you get results, as you help your students get results, the social proof will attract even more students. In fact, if you go to my YouTube channel and check it out right now, I have hundreds of case studies of normal people who've been able to build a successful knowledge business to over 6 figures in total revenues. And if you go and look at my YouTube channel, there's a Crore Club playlist there with more than 42 people I have felicitated for crossing 1 crore in revenues. Now, when that happens, the momentum builds. And this is how I have grown my coaching business to over 15,000 paid students in the last 3 years. So here's the formula. Solve problems by identifying your micro niche and by building memberships and selling memberships. And get sales for yourself and get results for your students to compound your efforts. This formula gives me more freedom. So my goal for you is this. If you have 100 people pay you 9,999 rupees per year as a membership, that is a 10 lakh rupee per year revenue. Okay, 1 lakh per month recurring revenue. From this, even if you have 10 people pay you 1 lakh rupees per year, Yes, out of 100, if 10 people decide to come to your premium level coaching based on the value that you're delivering to them, that's another 10 lakh rupees per year recurring revenue, 1 lakh rupee per month recurring revenue. Are you amazed by the simplicity of this model? Most people complicate it. I like to simplify it, and that's why my students get results. I've tried hundreds of failed experiments to bring it down to this. Step number 1, find your niche and design a 3-level membership program. Step number 2, sell memberships using live and automated webinars just like this. Step number 3, nurture your tribe and help them get results. When you help them get results, that'll help you get more students into the front end. If you're looking to build an automated digital coaching business that gives you more freedom, my Gold membership is your next step. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm not here to waste your money. I'm here to help you get results by implementing a simple system which I call as the Freedom Business Model. Now, this is an important question. To learn how to make 10 lakh rupees per year, are you willing to invest 1 lakh rupees right now? Are you willing to pay the toll to really take that next step to achieve this particular goal? I'm there to support you, but you got to take that step now. Now, what's included in my membership is this. I have 21 video courses, a private community access, a course certification, a 90-day challenge. We have weekly Q&A calls where I'll clarify your questions. We have a dedicated mobile app for 24/7 support. I'm going to help you find an accountability partner so that you can grow much faster. I'm going to give you ready-to-use templates, latest tools and resources, and we have different rewards and recognition within our own community. So it's going to be fun. We have over 40 plus members who have crossed 1 crore in revenues, 150 Hall of Fame achievers who have crossed six figure in revenues, and more than 4,100 4.9 star reviews on Trustpilot. This is what you're going to be getting access to, a dedicated membership, digital membership access. I have something special for you only today. If you actually click on that link below, the link has just opened up below. Click on the link below. I'm willing to give you 80% off on my Gold membership. You don't need to pay 1 lakh rupees for Gold membership. I'll let you in for just 19,999 as a one-time investment. This offer will be removed anytime. Next time you come back, this may not be available. I'm looking to help 5 experts successfully launch a knowledge business to 1 lakh rupees per month by helping them solve other people's problems online. And I hope that you are that one who's going to be making that decision right now. You know, my Gold membership is usually an annual subscription-based model. But if you apply that discount coupon that is there right now below, you can get a lifetime membership into it. And a lifetime membership to get access to all of this. Just to recap, 21 video courses, private community access, course certification, 90-day challenge, weekly Q&A calls, mobile app with 24/7 support, accountability partners, ready-to-use templates, latest tools and resources, rewards and recognition. All my videos are step-by-step and to the point. Complete the payment right now to claim this special offer valid only today. Use the coupon code if you want that lifetime access. Get on the toll road. It's better to pay the toll than to try things on your own. I hope I've been able to be as clear as possible. My teaching style is just like this. No fluff, no BS, to the point. And that's how you're going to be experiencing inside my community as well. Invest in yourself. The best investment that you can ever make is not in stock markets. It is not in cryptocurrency. It's in yourself. Welcome to the community, and I'll see you in the members area. My name is Siddharth Rajshekar, and I just want to wish you an amazing lifestyle of freedom. Click on the link below. Once you're inside, you'll get access to a members area like this, and that's a dedicated mobile app. And you have an amazing community that is there to support you and help you grow. You're not alone on this journey. You're working together as a community. We are on a mission to redefine the education employment system by creating a new breed of teachers. Welcome on board, and I will see you inside the members area. That's a mini webinar. Yes. So all of you saw, right? Whatever you saw in that video, of course, you can see the recording later, but it's got all of these points. I didn't have to explain. There's no teaching or content and stuff, like straight away into the offer, but there is some value add. Did all of you get some value even in that 12-minute video? Yes, type yes in the chat box. Like you got some pointers on like the perspective of membership versus other models and stuff like that. So it's like a new way of, so I put some thought into this. Recording a 12-minute video like this, it actually takes more time. Like you have to really think about what is that analogy that will click? What is the example that will click? What can you say? Like everything's minute to minute. You have to plan it out. So I've shared this template with all of you. Where to apply this? You can apply it in selling high ticket. Like I said, I launched this. I did a campaign for 1-2 months, then I paused it because I didn't want to mix up too many offers running. I'm just selling my automated webinars, doing 90-minute webinar and selling silver membership, because I'll tell you the logic behind this. I was selling my gold membership directly through automated webinars for around 3 to 4 months. Okay. I was getting good ROI in my business. My ROAS was good. I was getting a lot of people directly jumping into gold. Okay. How many of you here directly bought gold and came into our community? Just type me in the chat box if you came in directly into gold, or type gold in the chat box where you saw the gold offer and you got silver for free. Yeah, I know many of you are here. And when I mapped out my numbers, this is a very important point. All of you keep this in mind. Okay. This is something that it was revelation to me after some time of doing this. So I got a lot of people who came into gold, and in 3 months, I noticed that my diamond membership level numbers were going down like crazy. Because in a direct, simple mathematics, I was getting good revenues in gold. It was profitable, but there was no volume there. If I would do just silver, no, I would be getting 500 to 700 to 1000 silver members every single month. But when I would be spending the same amount of money on ads, I would be getting only say 100, 200 gold members. And that was impacting diamond membership sales. So I said, okay, enough is enough. Let's pause this campaign. Let's go back into, only silver membership. And I know many of you might have bought silver at 7,999. Now I've reduced the price also, made it like 5,999 in the offer time that they have in the webinar. If they try to buy silver on the other website, coupon code, it'll come to 7,999. But in the webinar, make it slightly lesser in price. And now suddenly there's an influx of more silver coming in. Okay. And with more silver coming in, diamond numbers have gone up like crazy. So high volume front end. All of you just type HVFE in the chat box. High volume front end is very, 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 very important. So this is the reason why I took a step back from doing this mini webinar. But in some niches, it can work, like even the health niche. And if you want to do like directly like a high ticket consulting model, you want to do a mini webinar into an application form, into a one-to-one call, and then getting clients at a higher price point, you can experiment this. Okay, super. Yeah. So now let's come to the last part. Automated webinar. It's the same as my automated webinar is the same flow as a 90-minute webinar. Okay, so there's nothing new. I follow the same structure as a 90 minutes webinar, whatever I've shared over here. Okay. So we have officially come to the end of this hackathon. And if you guys have got a lot of value, and if you are excited about the whole concept of sales, type excited in the chat box. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. And you remember in the beginning of today's hackathon, I told you, I made a statement saying by the end of today's session, you're going to be having that level of confidence to go out there and sell like never before. Would all of you agree, or you've got that right now? Yes. Yeah. I truly believe that those of you who take this template and implement it, you'll be far ahead as compared to anyone else who's trying on their own and trying to figure things out. All the pieces of the puzzle are already here. In all my courses and all the teachings that I have, I think this is like I would say, like, there are two things. There are two courses that I would call as crest jewels, okay, in all my courses. One is webinar selling formula, because this is what opens up that confidence for the money to come in. Okay, how am I able to help so many people get results, in hitting the crore club and stuff, is because of this one webinar selling formula. So this is one of the crest jewels. And the other crest jewel is my tribe building formula, which is my diamond membership. Because what I've taught in that course, you will never find it in any course. Okay, because I've shared my journey of tribe building, like exactly what I've done to take it from 0 to 500 to 1000 to 5000 customers, and like what decisions did I make right through this journey. So I think these are my two the most crest jewel courses besides Freedom Business Model, and of course Niche Clarity Blueprints also. I put in a lot of effort, but these two are the ones that change the game for many of our members. So those of you who go and apply these two courses with full focus, you're going to see the difference in your business. Yeah, I'll repeat. The first one is Webinar Selling Formula, whatever I taught now, which is there even gold, and Tribe Building Formula, which is in my Diamond membership. Okay, so we have come to the end of this particular mission, Webinar Selling. The recording will be up. Next Tuesday will be the last hackathon mission, where I will be ranking a video on YouTube, page 1 in front of your eyes. I'm a little bit nervous about it because I have to show it live as it happens, but I think I'll pull it off. Next Tuesday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. will be a market domination strategy, predominantly on YouTube, and how you can start to rank your videos on YouTube and get organic traffic coming from there. So waiting to catch up with all of you. Then again, we're not going to close yet. Do not leave. I have a few updates to share. First off, I want all of you to share your biggest takeaways from today's session on my Facebook group. Let's do that as an exercise right now. I'll be making a post on Facebook. Hackathon Mission 11. What were your biggest takeaways from today's session? So I want each one of you here to think about, recollect, and share your biggest takeaways. And another announcement I want to make, let me just stop this polling here. I want to run one more poll. Let me just find out. Okay, I don't have that here. I'm not loaded that poll. But how many of you here are silver and gold members, and you're really considering upgrading to diamond? Type me in the chat box if any of you here are really considering, you want to like get on the fast track, on the fast lane. Okay, so my diamond membership is closed right now, which means that nobody can get in. On 23rd of December, I'm going to be doing an exclusive diamond showcase and showing all of you my Polestar and giving all of you a demo of that. Okay, so if you're an existing diamond member, that's great. So existing silver and gold members, please register for this session on Zoom and make sure that you attend this live. There are no recordings and replays of that particular session. Okay, so I want all of you silver and gold members to be there and see if it resonates with you. And if you want to be a part of diamond membership, I have something that I'm going to be sharing on that day. So this is the post I've just made. I'm going to have some music playing for the next 45 minutes. So I'll be here for 45 minutes. Use the next 45 minutes to do two things. One, reflect and share your biggest takeaways below this one post. Two is you go into iLet Society, and now Mighty network has been revamped nicely. So I want all of you to go to lessons learned. Okay, in fact, I want all of you to go to webinar selling here. Okay, there's a playlist called webinars, not playlist. There's a forum called webinar selling. And under webinar selling, I want you to list down all your top ideas, what you got from today, so that all of your ideas in the takeaways will be documented under webinar selling here, so that in the future, when new people come in, when they see some of these pointers, they'll get some tips. And write it in such a way where if a new person is reading it, they should get some value from it. Okay, so let's do this. I don't leave the webinar yet. Okay, it's 10:46 p.m. I'm going to be here playing music till 11:30 p.m. 45 minutes. I'm just going to be with you. But I want all of you to stick around here and make the posts in these two places. Share it in Facebook group and share it in the webinar selling group over here. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording now. And let's